Alright guys, BLM here, back with a new live stream. Apologies for a late start here, got distracted with making a thumbnail for a pretty big video that took way too long to make, but whatever. Yeah, continuing on AC3, obviously we got Survivor, Australian Survivor, BB Can, all the stuff. I'll be honest, I am already a bit tired, but whatever. We'll see how long I go for. But yeah, Survivor was a solid episode. I mean, obviously not as strong as the last one, but kind of on par with the first two. Like, it's fine. Probably like pretty average episode. Yeah, I did put that in my notes. The Swati, her saying Boston Rob got fourth his first time around, which is like, I don't know about that. But yeah, I don't know what she like. I mean, I did watch RJP, and like Rob is like saying that he was thinking about Rob Cesternino was saying that it was about him, and then I think Swati has now mentioned that she meant Cesternino, but like that makes no sense considering she said that he won afterwards. So like I just think she probably just got confused, like all around. Like I don't know what she was thinking there, but whatever. Wait, what was this intro? What a weird... Okay, I don't know why the game put me there. It's bizarre. Yeah, she did say Boss Rob, but, like, I get that, like, if she didn't say the winning part, like, I could see her, like, having construed, okay, it was Rob Cesternino, because, like, I mean, Rob Cesternino's, like, notably been called Buster Rob. And like been mistaken for Boss Rob in the past, but again, like the fact that she like later stated that he won and everything, like I think it just made it all like too confusing. Well, the Hell's Beyond the Edge, I'll be honest, I did not pay attention at all. It was on, like it was on my TV, but I just did not pay attention to it. I've been working towards doing my cast ranking today. I did a lot of prep for that, and that took way too fucking long. And that's why I got a late start here. It's because I made the thumbnail for it, which took way too long. Yeah, I'm starting to like prep certain videos that I can't make yet. Like, can't make until after 42 is done. But like, I know I'm going to be doing. So like, there was that. I'm prepped as in like I haven't watched all the fire making challenge video, ranking all the fire making challenges. I got like made the thumbnail for that and stuff like that. But again, the cast one took way too long to actually organize all the casts. Still can't believe One Tribe hasn't found the idol. I mean, like, this is a similar thing to Luvu, right? Luvu didn't find their idol until what, episode 5, right? Was when this year got it. So I mean, this is kind of a similar thing, but yeah, it's like, how the fuck have you not found the idol yet?
What can you tell me of Thomas Hickey? He has been running a
yeah, we know Tori finds it from the preview, which is like, I don't know, like in general, I don't know how to feel about like these sort of things where they do previews and like blatantly spoil things, but it's like, it's also like 100% they're not intending on anyone remembering this, right? Like, but like obviously people like me do, so it's like obviously like Tori's not going home until she finds the Beware Vantage, so obviously she wasn't going home here. I mean, to be fair, like I like still thought Swati was probably going home anyway, but still. Spoil them more. Oh yeah, the Mariah vote was because Marianne hadn't found it too, right? Yeah, like didn't they? Like, it's weird because like Mike is the only one that didn't get to say the phrase, right? Like, we see the footage of him holding it, but like you can't like be 100% sure that it's Mike in that shot. Like, you can guess, but like it's not 100%. So it's like, it's weird that they like use the visual of Mike but then use the voice of Tori and then have the Marianne shot also. It's like, it's weird they're like the first person to find the idol is the one that isn't like blatantly spoiled. Oh, whatever.
This isn't money.
Well, I think of your girlfriend going, oh, didn't Swati make a Twitter post of her saying that she's looking for a fan to date or something like that? Oh, there you go, Bryce. You got a chance. Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, 42 as a whole, like, I feel like the general consensus is that it's better than 41. I don't feel that necessarily. I mean, like, I feel like it's around the same level to me at this point in the season. I actually feel like 41 probably had, like, bigger moments, by this point. But I feel like, obviously, like, they've spent more time, like, getting us to know the cast with this season. But, like, I feel like in terms of, like, the actual vote-offs and everything, I feel like they were a lot more interesting on 41 so far than 42. I mean, at the point where we're getting, 3 Shot in the Darks played, like, which essentially means that it's very clear to even the people that are playing it that they're going home, because that's why they're playing it. Like, I mean, I just think in general, like, this season is, like, kind of lacking the super strategic gameplay that I feel like was there with 41 very early on with, like, Shan Ricard. I mean, is it all UA? Were all the interesting votes? Because you had the Sarah vote off, which was good. Yeah, I mean, I think it was actually, yeah, like, pretty much UA was the only one doing interesting votes, because both of the Yasa votes weren't that interesting. But, yeah, I mean, like, here, it's like the only interesting vote so far has been the Jenny vote. I feel like everything else has been really predictable, so, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of just fine on it so far. Swathi isn't a good player. I mean, she's, like, I think she's very, like, average. Like, I feel like she's someone that would have potential. Like, I think she's, like, she seems like a smart person. I don't think she, like, what she did this round, like, was, like, a bit sloppy, but also, like, not really anything, like, terrible. Like, it wasn't anything that, like, it would make me think that they would, like, never do well in a game of Survivor. So, like, I don't have, like, super strong opinions on Swathi as a player. Like, on my player ranking so far, I still have Jenny above Swathi. But, I mean, like, it's not... Oh, okay, well, cool. I hate this tailing mission. But, yeah, like, I don't think Swathi's that bad of a player, though. Are they not gonna do the thing? Whatever. Fuck this game. Oh, cool. I didn't even pay attention. The votes, yeah, like, the vote-offs have been kind of I mean, to be honest, even the lead-up to me has been kind of to the votes. I feel like as a whole, I probably like this cast more than 41, though. Like, obviously we'll have to see by the end of the season. But, yeah, I mean, like, but, and to be fair also, like, I feel like all the people booted so far, all the people that have been booted, and probably that actually plays a factor into me liking the cast more, is that, like, the people that have been booted so far are not the most interesting people on the cast. I think with, like, 41, we lost, like, what, like, Voce, we lost Brad, who else did we lose pre-merge? JD. We lost, like, some pretty big characters pre-merge. Here, we're losing, like, the people with the, like, least amount of confessionals. Like, it's actually, looking at the confessional chart, it's actually really weird, where Ozzy Jackson, like, was barely there, so only got 2 confessionals, but then, like, everyone else that's been booted got a total of 6. Like, literally, like, the 4 boots afterwards, is it 4? Yeah, 4 boots afterwards, all have 6 confessionals by the end of the runs. Like, that's really strange. And, like, they're all, like, with the exception of Zach, I believe, were, like, in the bottom half of confessional getters by that point in the season. So it's like, yeah, like, I definitely feel like the people left on the show at this point are people that we're, like, actually getting to know. I mean, to be fair, like, people like Lydia and Roxroy haven't gotten... I mean, I guess Roxroy's gotten a lot of negative content, but... and actually, he got personal content in episode 1. But, I mean, I guess it's mainly Lydia that we don't really know at this point. But, like, it doesn't really feel like, in a way that, like, Australian Survivor 2019 did, which was, like, my complaint of that season, was how, like, every pre-merge boot just felt like fodder going home, where, like, you could tell, like, these... Like, pretty much everyone that, like... I think all but, like, 2 people that made the merge had consistent content the entire way through, while, like, everyone in the pre-merge had, like, no content. And, like, that was something that was really jarring there. Like, this season doesn't really feel like that, even though it's, like, it's kind of the same thing. It's more forgettable, Mariah or Swathi. I think Mariah. Even though Mariah technically got more confessionals per episode, I do feel like Mariah is probably going to be one of the most forgettable players, like, years from now. And actually, part of the process today of doing my cast ranking is I literally went through every single person, or every single like player from every single cast, and rated them out of 5 on how entertaining I feel like they were on that season. And I was mostly strict with 1s. I did give Mariah a 1 though. Like I feel like Mariah really brought nothing to the season. But yeah, that was, by the way, I spent like an hour and a half there. Yeah, I didn't do zeros. I only did 1 through 5. Which, to be fair, like, it's like really at that point you might as well do 0 through 4, but whatever. It's my way. What's my rating for Bradley? I think I gave him a 3 or a 4. I don't remember. I did factor in longevity as well. In those rankings, mind you, again, like what I didn't finish saying is that these rankings didn't end up meaning anything. I wasted like 2 hours on this, and like I'm not even like they didn't play that much of a factor into my actual ranking, because like right now I have the entire ranking of the cast ranking done. I just need to wait for 42 to be finished to add 42 on. But yeah, like my actual list did not play out anywhere close to what like the statistical ranking ended up being. Purple Kelly, I gave it 1. Same thing goes for like, I mean, really anyone that like got pretty much no content while they were there, I just gave a 1. Even though like Purple Kelly is like humor, like the moments that she does have, which again like is in 1 episode, 2 episodes, like it is like humorous, but it's like it's not enough to give it more than 1. Erica, I think I gave a 3 or 2. I don't remember. I like most of the winners. I didn't give any winner a 1. I might have given her a 2 or a 3. I know I didn't give her a 4 or above. I gave Bob a 3. I remember that one. But yeah, like the average ranking did not end up mattering that much, especially because like all of the seasons end up being like within a 1 point difference, so like it didn't end up being like that major of a factor. Where like almost every season, like I mean, I guess there's actually a decent amount, but like I mean, like for the most part, like every season had at least 1 or 2 5s. It's like the distribution, I should say, for most of the seasons end up being relatively similar. Fuck off! Did not mean to do that. No, I gave Aris a 3. I'm pretty sure. Aris and again, like I did it per season too. So like there's 1 for Panama and then there's 1 for Blood vs. Water. Aris, I think in Panama got a 3. I might have given Blood vs. Water a 2, but I think there's a chance it was a 3. Thailand was one of the seasons that did not have a 5. I almost gave it to Clay. I thought about it. And actually at first I did, but then I realized that like it looked like the rating for Thailand was a bit too high. I was like, Clay's not really a 5, is he? Like I do think Clay is like a very like darkly humorous figure in Survivor history. But yeah, like I think I can't give him a 5. I'm trying to bring up the ranking. I forgot what. Oh, there it is.
What's this? Thomas Hickey?
Yeah, what am I rating? I'm rating, so again, I'm doing a cast ranking after 42 is done, where I rank every cast in the history of the show. But to prepare for that, I went through every player from every season and gave them a rating of 1 through 5 based on, like, mostly entertainment, but, like, also kind of legacy and, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a mix of, like how much they mattered on the season, I guess. It's probably, I don't know, it's kind of an arbitrary ranking, really, but yeah, so I'm looking at it now. Okay, let's just pause this real quick. Aris I did give a 3 in Panama. Winners at War Michelle, I think I gave a 4. Yeah. Because again, like this also factors into longevity. If you make it further into the season, then more likely, like I think if you make it far into the season and get screen time, like it's very tough to get below a 3. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. At that point, you are at least a factor on their show. Like you're at least there. JT in here oh, JT in Heroes of Villains. I'm a fucking idiot. I was thinking JP from HHH. JT in Heroes of Villains I think was a 4. Yeah, I gave him a 4. But I gave Sandra, Parvati, Russell 5s, and I gave Rupert a 5. And then what? JT's a 4, Colby's a 4. Jerry's a 4. I don't know if I actually that could have been a 3, but whatever. Boston Rob's a 4. Coach is a 4, and whoever's in 16th place was a 4. Who was 16th place? Oh, it was Tom, right? So those were the 4s from Heroes of Villains. JD and Brad, I think they were 4s. Oh no, actually, I gave JD a 3. Again, I think with that it was more so. Well, one, I did these rankings really quick. But also, yeah, it was more. Again, I'm not even paying attention to him. It was more so longevity with that. Which season had the most 5s? I believe, surprisingly, Ko Wrong, which I was not expecting. Which is why Ko Wrong ended up actually being pretty high in my season rankings, because I kind of noticed that. Where I gave Aubrey, Ty, Sydney, Scott, and Jason all 5s. Because again, I think Scott and Jason are really the last great villains for the show. Again, not likable people, but in terms of being villainous figures on the show, how am I failing this so many times? I feel like they really propped up that season. If Brad made longer, would he be a 5? Possibly. Again, he was only on 3 episodes, and I already gave him a 4, so I mean, probably. Did I give anyone a 5? Oh, I gave Shan a 5 from 41. That's it, though. I actually, even for Winners at War, I only gave Tony a 5. Winners at War is a tough one, because, this is the thing. I mean, I might as well talk about it. I think Winners at War is going to be number 1. But this is the thing that I have to think about, when it comes to this ranking. How much do I, rank it based on, what actually happened on the season? Or, I mean, should I rank it based on, what actually happened on the season? Or should I, also have it ranked based on, legacy and, that sort of thing? Because, obviously with that in play, Winners of War has to be one. It's obviously, 20 winners of the show coming back. A lot of winners that we just did not think were ever going to come back. Pretty much, almost every, big name that has won came back for that season. Really, the exception of Richard Hatch, Tom, and, I guess Tina and, there's one other, Cochran. But it's a stacked cast. However, in terms of the execution of the season, in terms of how the season played out, how they utilized that cast, I don't know if they utilized them the best. So okay, what the fuck's going on? So I don't know. I'm kind of debating on what exactly the criteria should be. But if I'm going to add this legacy element to it, and this kind of the prestige of the cast and whatnot, Winners of War has to be one. But again, I just don't know if I'm actually going to rank it that way. Edge of Extinction, I think it's only Rick Devens I gave a 5. Fuck off. Yeah, season of the most ones is Fiji, which is funny. I will say, I did not come into the ranking thinking Fiji was going to be super, super low. I actually thought it would, I thought it would be probably bottom third, but probably top of bottom third. I think Fiji might be at the bottom the more I think about it. It's a shame because I think there are some great, there are some good casting choices there, but there's so many no names in the first half of the season. Most of the Ravu people that go home early, I gave a 1 to. It's who the fuck are these people? Where if it wasn't for the fact that I think about Survivor a lot, I would have no memory of who these people are. Who the fuck remembers Rita? Who the fuck remembers Erica? Who the fuck remembers I guess Papa Smurf is kind of a weird one, but still, it's now Fiji is not the most memorable cast in the world. Lauren, I think I gave her 3 or 4. I gave her a 3, actually.
Be still. You will do no more harm.
You're a right.
What Earl get? I think a 4?
Washington's the only
Yeah, I
thing
did give him
keeping
a
the
4.
Continental Army together. You kill him, you end all
Fiji,
hope
the
for
only
freedom.
5s were Dreams and Yao.
You are both under
Actually,
arrest.
like, there's only 3 4s also. It's what? Earl, Alex, and 12th place. Is that Lisi? Did I give Lisi a 4?
I had nothing to do with it. Of course not.
Jenna Bound, I think I gave her a 2.
This man is planning to...
Really would have been a 1 if she didn't, like, make it as far as she did. And, like at least was there. Again, like, for you to beat a 1, like, it's pretty difficult. Like, I'm looking through, like, what post-mergers have gotten a 1. Like, it's Chelsea from Ghost Island. Oh, Dan Spilo got a 1, but, I mean, that's obviously, like, a different circumstance. Angela, I gave 1, which, to be fair, that might be a bit unfair considering she at least like got personal content and whatnot, but like realistically, who cares? JP from HHH, I gave a 1.
I believe I've just been pardoned.
Artists from Philippines, I gave a 1. Leaf, I gave a 1, but like Leaf was one that like Leaf and Michael Jefferson, I like was like. They both kind of deserve to be 1, but like I kind of feel like they're like together memorable enough to be like a 3 combined. So I was like, okay, let's give one a 1, the other one a 2, and then like realistically they're like 1.5 each. Then yeah, Purple Kelly,
At once, sir.
Zoe. Actually, realistically, Zoe should be a 2. Like Zoe does have some like ironically humorous moments, but whatever. And then Nick Brown, I gave a 1. Those are all the ones that made the merge. So again, it's not that. And to be fair, Nick Brown should probably be a 2.
Yes.
Again, this is like obviously I did it in chronological order. So like if I was going by the criteria that I went by the end of it, I probably would have given Nick a 2. But too, again, like none of these rankings actually matter because like there's a wide difference between what I decided to make the list and what the like statistical ranking is.
You're being investigated for plotting to assassinate George Washington.
Actually, I'm looking at this now. I didn't realize this. Fiji is like at the bottom by a lot. We're like the second. So like the average for Fiji is a 2.57. The next highest is a 2.8. So like that's a pretty big difference. But yeah. You have a Jess emote? Yeah, we haven't talked about BB Can yet. Which is gonna be interesting. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do to like with this week or whatever, because like again, I was planning on doing the mid-season power ranking for BB Can for Saturday. Not entirely sure. Like if I should still do it. The worry is that next week is almost for sure going to be Survivor mid-season power ranking. So yeah, like I don't know if I want to risk, because like this is gonna be a double eviction, right? So it's like, and like we now know it's like a safety chain double eviction, which is like weird.
No doubt she's already moved on to the next.
But yeah, like I feel like now's the time to do it. Realistically, like because like it is also technically the halfway point of the season. We're not at the jury phase yet. I don't think we're getting the jury. I suspect that we're not going to get it till 9. But I just feel like I should do it. Like I feel like it's not going to be like it's just going to like mess up too many things if I don't do it. So yeah, that's probably what I'm doing. Hannah, Brittany, Whitney, Claire doing a webinar at your college tomorrow? That's bizarre. Like, why are they doing a thing about healthcare and COVID? Whatever. Doesn't jury start after tomorrow's double? It could, but also, like, we haven't gotten any confirmation. Because, like, yeah, obviously it's either going to be at 9 or 11. After the Tanisha boot, which is going to be the first part of the double eviction, will be at 11. So, for all we know, the second boot in the double eviction, the second boot will could be the first jury member, but we have no confirmation on that. If it does, then perfect. Like, then everything works out. But if it doesn't, then we'll be down to 10. Double eviction will be next, or the eviction next week will lead to 9, which that will be the start of the jury. Which at that point, it's like I'll have to do the video a week late. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just better to do it now, no matter what happens. Hopefully we get feeds after the fact. Like, hopefully it's not something dumb where, like, they shut down feeds for, like, 3 days or something. Like, until the next episode. Because they've done that in the past, but we'll see. Mike's going to win 42. He went up on my power ranking, so that's something. I think he's number 2 right now. I did actually, I did adjust my power ranking before this episode, and then, yeah, then obviously did the one for this episode, which not much changed. I mean, really the main thing is, like, Jonathan went down a little bit, and then, I think Romeo went up, like, 2 spots, but he's still, like, not really in winner contention. But, like, most things stayed the same. Will there be a quadruple eviction on Big Brother? Probably not. Unless there's, like, a buyback. Like, I mean, I could see them doing that as, like, maybe, like, as, like, some dumb twist that they want to try. Is, like, have 4 people go out in some dumb way and then, like, bring back... Like, I mean, I guess we're getting that's purgatory. Like, we're doing purgatory from Australian Survivor on Big Brother. I guess that's something that they could do. But, like, they're not getting rid of 4 people at once and that's it. Like, I don't think they would do that.
What are you looking at, half-breed?
Moose Boot, yeah, that's definitely happening tomorrow. I do fair. I've not been paying attention to feeds for the last, like, I don't know, like 6 hours or so. Like, I haven't looked at any updates. So for all I know, Moose is going home now. But again, I feel felt pretty good that it was going to be Tanisha. Yeah, Mike did get good content here. It is interesting that he's kind of in the swing. I mean, he's really not because he doesn't have a vote. But if he did, then he would have been in a.
If he intends to escape,
he would be like the
perhaps he
main
can help.
decision maker at this point. I guess he wouldn't really, would he? Because like Chanel and Daniel are not voting together. You wouldn't think.
Mason
But
Ames?
so I mean, like, he is in a better spot at this point. Moose or Tanisha, as of like last I saw, it was going to be
They say you
Tanisha.
know a way out of here.
Where there were what 5 votes locked in, which is what they need. Where you had what Marty, Gino, JC, Kevin, Helena, and then like Herman is like open to it if they are willing to tell him, and then Josh is like in on it, but like he's gonna vote. At least last I heard, he was gonna vote the other way to like make it seem like he's still at the other side, and he's working with Kevin and Helena at this point. Kevin and Helena sending Tanisha home is so stupid. I don't think so. I think that is the move at this point for Kevin and Helena, not for other people that are doing this.
As you already know mine. What's your name?
But yeah, like I mean, I feel
Nice
like
to meet you, Connor.
Kevin and Helena are kind of in the position where they need to chip away at both sides. Like they need to, like essentially, like RJP's been making a lot of comparisons to the Jason Danielle, like a secret alliance, and I feel like that is the way they have to play at this point. They have to go back and forth between two sides and try to undercut both sides along the way. Which, by the way, I did finish my BB3 rewatch. I actually just finished it early today, so that was another thing. 33 episodes.
You do not believe me?
But yeah, that's done. I have like 12,000 words of notes. Don't know when I'm gonna get around to writing the actual video, but whatever. Could Daniel rebound if he survives to emerge? I mean, yeah, if he survives to emerge, I mean, to be fair, there's only one more round, right? So I mean, I guess there's a chance, but they've been really setting him up for a fall. Like I feel like he's gotta go. Like I'd be very surprised, but and even then, like even if he gets to merge, like maybe he's just the consensus merge boot at that point, like the victim of the hourglass sort of thing. But yeah, I don't think Daniel's long for the game.
And yet, also a man imprisoned.
Surprised Swati went. I thought she had a deep run.
It's a private matter.
I don't know. I was like, she's like one of these people that like could have been an early boot or could be a person for a deep run for me. Like it was like kind of like Jenny. I think they were like kind of in the same spot where like I felt like with both of them, I was like, it's either that they're setting them up to be potential winner contenders down the road with like the personal content they got in episode 1 and whatnot, or they're like supposed to be this like kind of like surprise
Anyone I
pre-merge
know?
boot that we got from like Amari Takahashi, Ali Elliott, whatever.
George Washington.
And obviously it ends up being that. But
The
yeah, I mean, I thought like coming into the episode, I would have thought Tori would have been the easier boot, but yeah, obviously it didn't work out that way. By the way, Tori at this point, I feel like is full on getting like the Angelina style edit.
Peerless in character and unshakable in his convictions.
Obviously not as
That man is from Jupiter
wacky,
Conservatory,
I guess.
destined to lead us not just to freedom.
To be fair, I mean, Angelina doesn't get that until the jacket moment, which that was what,
Anyone who
episode
says
5 or 6.
Is either a simpleton.
But yeah, like I still don't think Tori's winning. But there might be longevity there. Maybe she's a goat at the end. I feel like that could be a possibility at this point.
You're serious, aren't you?
A version of Fan Made Survivor had both tribes
Well,
go to tribal night
Going
1.
to take some doing.
Each tribe had to vote 2
See,
people off.
Everything hinges on the key.
Why?
of force.
Like, why would you want to do that? That sounds terrible. To vote out
3
2
months to
people
make
right
the thing,
away
too.
from 2 tribes, right?
You need to get it back, or we're not
So it's like
going
4
anywhere.
people are going home the first round. Like, that's terrible. But whatever. Pisses you off how much stupid twists have changed the outcome of the season. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way Survivor is at this point, though. With 41, 42, and like, I would not be surprised if they continue the sword trend moving forward. There are a couple right-wing YouTubers who love Tori just because she's expressed anti-vax sentiment. So is that like, I'm like, so Survivor Spencer, right? I feel like that's definitely one of them. Yeah, again, Tori's not winning though. Oh fuck, I forgot this is the mission I have to fucking pickpocket in. I remember I hated this mission when I was a kid. This took me forever to do, even though it's like fucking easy. Whatever. Did Tori call Jonathan Goliath and he was offended? I mean, like, it is like painting, like, really, like, Tori should not be saying this. Like, Tori should not be like calling out the big guy and like calling him Goliath and whatnot. That just makes her an easier target at the merge. But also bad from Jonathan to like say that like, oh, we're a tight 4 and whatnot. Which, like, I again, listen to the know-it-alls. They, like, Steven was, like, kind of defending it, where it's like, oh, all the tribes did. I was like, yeah, but to me, though, I feel like that instantly clicked to me, where it's like, this seems like an easy target on Taku. Where, like, coming to the merge, like, who knows if it plays out like that, because, again, I feel like Taku probably contains the winner, if I were to really guess. Like, not just because of complex tribe theory, but just because, like, they're so, like, they're definitely getting propped up as the underdogs. Mind you, Yasa did. And that's the thing that's, like, kind of holding me back from going, like, all in on Taku. But, I feel like someone on Taku's probably the winner. Lindsay could be the merge boot. That's actually what I was thinking with this episode. Because, like, so many people have been talking about Lindsay, being like a potential winner, and I don't see it. Like, I don't see the Lindsay winner at it. Like, for me, it's like, even with these like players that are more like under the radar female winners, even like they typically have at least a storyline set up. Like, Lindsay has no storyline. There is no story for a Lindsay win. She's simply just getting content. And that makes me think that, like, again, like, I feel like she could be the merge boot. Like, that is typically an edit that a merge boot would get, especially if they are this like more under the radar player. Where they will be like given like a confession or 2 every episode.
He'll be none the wiser.
And when he tries to use it,
He won't.
I mean, like, Lindsay, like, I think I have Lindsay at 6 right now.
how do I reach?
Oh, I actually have it up. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I have Lindsay at 6 right now
You
on
may
my
not like.
contenders
As if I've liked the
list.
others. Out with it.
You need
So it's
to pick
not
a
like
fight.
she's low, but it's like also like I just don't think she's winning. I mean, she's at the bottom of
How in the
Taku.
world does this help us?
So yeah, my ranking right now, I have Omar 1,
Getting sent there is the
Mike
only way to
2,
reach you.
High 3, Jonathan 4,
I'll give you credit.
Marianne 5, Lindsay 6.
You've given this plan to risk my life.
Then Romeo 7, and then beyond that, I
Take
don't
down
think
as
they're
many
winning at
as
this
you
point.
can.
I'm kind of out on Drea
One
at
or
this
two will only
point.
serve to entertain the
Where, I mean,
guards.
to be fair, I've like always
We need to make
technically
them
been
pay.
out, but like I haven't really represented that on my ranking.
We all have our part to play.
Where like I always felt like
Try not
she
to
was
die.
someone that's like gonna make a deep run, but probably go out in like the Shan position, like mid merge, being propped up as a big player and a big threat. Like that's kind of where I see Drea going, but it's like, again, like at this point, it's like I just feel like there's other people that are like definitely like more likely to win than Drea. So like Drea was like number 5, I think, for my last like 3 weeks, but yeah, I finally decided to drop her. It's like I just winning. Oh, Jordy went home. Yeah, that was the thing. They definitely didn't spoil that in their banner on Facebook or whatever. By the way, I've seen so much negativity. Like the Australian Survivor Reddit has become just essentially everyone bashing on Mark, and it's so fucking dumb to me. But yeah, like Mark's winning this season. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like he's definitely fucking winning at this point. To be fair, that was kind of more guaranteed, like, after, really after the Sambu, but at this point, Jordy gone too. Like, there's literally no one else. Like, there's literally no one else that can even possibly win. Like, when my number 2 contender right now is Josh, it's like, come on. Also, I love what the Jury Villa isn't, like trying to hide it either. Like the Jury Villa, they blatantly say we got 3 goats, like referring to the 3 women, and we have 2 monsters or 2 Goliath. I forgot what they actually called them, but like essentially like 2 people who have a chance. In Mark and Josh, it's like yeah, they're really making it very blatant.
And do you acknowledge this? Do you repent and beg forgiveness?
No, Mark is without
No.
idols at this
You
point.
elect instead
He
to
did
commit
play
new
both.
and more terrible crimes inside
Which
what-
again, also very anticlimactic conclusion to the Jesse Idol thing, where like Mark plays it to get rid of Jordy, but like he didn't need it, so like he just kind of wastes it. Like it just like that was kind of anticlimactic. Like I feel like it would have been funner if they actually did vote for Mark and then he idled Jordy out of the game. Why they hate Mark? I mean, because they think he's a dick and he's a misogynist and all these things, which, to be fair, I mean, like, he has done some things that are a bit dickish.
Need to take care not to raise the alarm.
But, yeah, like, in terms of, like, him leading, like, a misogynistic alliance and all that stuff, I think it's fucking dumb. Because, again, we're in Australian Survivor, a game that very openly favors, like, under-the-radar women. So, like, for the, like, men to gang up, like, all these, like, perceived big threats, like, it makes sense. Like, that is the optimal move if you were a
Before I
person
take you
like
through
Mark
that door,
or Josh or
Where they
whatnot.
keep the important prisoners. Nicer rooms, more space, those sorts of things. It seems even in prison, who
Yeah, he
you
needs
know
2
makes all the
immunities,
difference.
or
Thank you, Mason, for everything.
I'm really, like,
I will
does he
find a
actually
way to
need 2
repay the
immunities? We'll
favor when
see.
my work here is finished.
He might make it through anyway. The thing is, like, I think it is the correct move that if Josh doesn't have immunity, to vote out Josh at 5, if you're KJ and Shay. Where at 5, like, you don't want to go to Final 4 with Josh and Chrissy. Chrissy has shown no capacity to actually flip on Josh. Like, what? Like, you're essentially handing the game to Josh at that point. So, like, you have to vote out Josh at 5. So really, Mark only really needs 1 immunity. Really, he needs for Josh not to win immunity, and then he can survive that Final 5 round. Then, yeah, Final 4, he just needs to probably win immunity at that point. Like, I feel like at Final 4, it's tough to believe that they would let him get through. Can we get fire making, though? I should, like, what happens if, like, Josh wins immunity? Oh, maybe that could be a thing, too? Maybe they keep, like, Mark around to face off against Josh at 4? Like, what if, like, if Josh wins immunity at 5, what if they are like, well, we can't beat Josh in immunity, so let's keep around Mark to face off against Josh. And then maybe they vote out... I mean, would they vote out Chrissy, though? I feel like Chrissy's guaranteed to be at the end of this one, right? But then also, like, it is probably the optimal move to vote out Chrissy. I do wonder who wins if it's the three women at the end. If it's Shay, KJ, and Chrissy. Because again, like, the jury does look at them as the three big goats, but it's like, obviously you gotta vote for one of them if they're at the end. To be honest, I don't even know who I would vote for in that situation. Where, like, Chrissy's the only one to not get voted out, but, like, also Chrissy hasn't done anything. So it's like, I would rather vote for KJ, personally. But, it's like, they're all bad, really. I think this episode was us getting set up for Taku's being targeted at the merge. I can see that. Again, that's why I'm a bit, like... fuck off, okay. But yeah, that's why I'm a bit, like, apprehensive to say, like, Taku's, like, 100% winning. Because, like, again, they're being propped up as this, like, likable tribe. This tribe that's very close. And, like, Yasa were, like, propped up as these underdogs. Yeah, obviously, like, everyone assumed that, okay, a Yasa member's gonna win early on because, like, oh, it's the complex tribe theory and whatnot. Where, like, I do think Taku is the complex tribe here. With, again, debate for Vati. But, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them being targeted at the merge now, especially with Jonathan talking about how they are strong four in front of everybody. Like, if I was a player in the game, like, I would definitely want to target Vati, or Taku. '22 was a good year for Survivor. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't, like, for me, I would say so. A lot of people did not like Championship Contenders 1, though. And obviously people don't like Ghost Island. So, yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, but I don't know if everyone would agree with that. Oh, I will also say, if Josh does not get, especially if Josh doesn't get voted out 5, I think there's a debate for Josh being number 1 on my player ranking for Australian Survivor. Because, like, to be honest, I've been thinking about it more and more, and, like, Josh is real, like, even though I disagree with certain strategic decisions he's made, Josh is, like, really the only person to actually hold control throughout the entire game. And, like, the one position he doesn't is because of Purgatory. Where, like, obviously, like, Mark has the idol, using the idol at 7 and whatnot. So, yeah, like, I feel like Josh is... The problem is that, obviously, like, we're not being shown it necessarily from the edit, because, like, they just didn't show him for, like, half the season. But, yeah, I think Josh is, like, actually probably played the best game of the season. I'll say also, though, with Jordy, something I didn't realize until I was writing my review, is that, I think Jordy played terribly. Like, Jordy is someone that, again, like... I mean, needed immunities constantly, got voted out at 8, was able to come back into the game in a position that greatly benefited him due to twists and whatnot, and then even then is taken out 6. Like, it's a bad game. And he wasn't able to convince anybody he wasn't even able to convince anybody that, like, Mark and Sam had 2 idols. He wasn't able to convince anybody to actually, like, vote with him in most situations. Like, he played a bad game. But I actually think Jordy might be the best strategic thinker on this cast. Like, I didn't realize until writing the review is that I don't think I disagree with a single strategic decision Jordy makes across the season. Well, like, Mark and Josh, like, who, again, are probably the 2 top players this season, like, I very much disagree with a lot of decisions that they've made across the season. And, like, even Sam, I disagree with, like, certain decisions in the pre-merge. So it's like, I think Jordy might actually be the person that, like, I think is the best strategic thinker here. It's just the problem is that he can't actually, like, he's not able to convince people to do what he wants them to do. Or, like, I find it funny, like, it's like the moment that got propped up in the edit is like, oh, him convincing Shay to take him and Josh on the reward. Like, that was, like, the best move he made on season. And it's like, if this is the best move, this is pretty fucking sad. Like, I mean, yes, it's dumb of Shay, but also it's like, this is, like, a mostly insignificant move. Like, this probably would have happened anyway. Of Josh flipping to put the votes on Mark the Flesh's idol, but whatever.
Once that's all squared away, well then.
Really watched Josh vs. Purple? Yeah, me too. Again, like, it's so weird to because, like, I believe, actually, the one point where I believe Josh did not
The child in the forest.
was not in the know of the vote might have been the Andy vote. I forgot about this, but like I think Josh did not vote Andy out. Episode 1.
Not quite as you would expect.
And while like Josh was never in danger, like I don't know how that vote went for him. Like if he was like in the know, but also like wanted to kind of like split the vote, maybe.
But what's done is done.
But I do believe he did not vote for Andy there. But again, like that's such like so far back, it's relatively insignificant anyway. Painless is dating Hawk from Cobra Kai. Well, that's a shame. And someone going by Geordi as a man's strategic thinker, he has serious problems. Probably.
I said, get up!
I mean, I think Geordi, like, I think Geordi might do well in a return, though. Like, I think Geordi has like the potential. It's just that he needs to like be better at convincing people to go with it, like, go his way, I guess. Then again, like, I don't know if, like, is he actually going to have a target when he comes back? I think that's the thing that I worry about Geordi, is that, like, if he has a target on his back when he comes back. Because it's like, he shouldn't, if you watch this season. Like, because if you actually pay, like, it's weird, because, like, if he has a target, it's going to be because of the edit. Not because of the actual game he played. Because, like, the edit props him up so much, despite the fact that he doesn't actually, like, ever, like, actively do anything well. So it's like, it's funny that he might actually have a target on the return, despite the fact that he's actually not really shown his true potential yet. I did like that line from Mark. Again, like, it's kind of like, he says it in a bit of a dickish way, but yeah, him talking about how, we're here because of skill, they're here because of luck. Which, by the way, I also disagree with. Like, I mean, like, not necessarily that they're here because of luck, because obviously they are. But also, you are also there because of luck. Again, any Survivor player that makes it far into the season, more than likely, I'm really guaranteed to have a lot of luck go their way. While there's obviously skill involved, like, you also did get very lucky in many situations.
Nothing bad happens to him.
You said there'd be a trial.
Geordi reminds you of Tyson in every way but gameplay. Yeah, I think that's an apt comparison.
Straight to the gallows for you.
Similar body type, similar like threat in terms of physical challenges.
Same cannot be said.
Even though like Geordi realistically doesn't do that well, right? Like he won what, 2 immunities? But like since he returned from Purgatory, he didn't win anything, right? So yeah, I think they also kind of prop him a bit too much like as a challenge competitor. Survivor's like Mario Kart? I think it can be, especially modern Survivor. I still think that, like, obviously again, there's a lot of luck involved in Survivor, but like the more and more advantages are added to the game, more swaps and like all these different mechanics, like obviously the amount of luck is increased. Hourglass is like the blue shell. I don't know, what would, I don't know, is it the blue shell? Because like blue shell would like be taking out someone on the top, right? You would assume. Where like the hourglass is more so like it's taking, like, more than likely takes out like someone on, I mean really it's all luck, really. I mean it is all luck, based on like how the tribes break out or the groups break out, and then whether or not the person takes hourglass like dilemma or not, which more than likely they will. And then like, yeah, I mean there's a lot of shit that goes on with hourglass, isn't there? Because it's not even like it's a situation like the Edgardo, or not Edgardo, the Michelle Yi thing, where like they're like one tribe and they're voting individual. You're also voting with the rest of the tribe. Like it's essentially just a merged tribe, but it's like greatly reducing the amount of people that can be voted for. But then also all the advantages involved and everything. Like again, like it really is such a bullshit twist. But whatever. Super Eye will be a blue shell. Yeah, I think that might be more apt.
Indeed.
do a challenge Australia cast speculation video? Probably won't, just because I don't know anything outside of Big Brother and Survivor, and I'm sure they'll cast from other shows than that. And also, I don't really care enough to do it. I don't have the time either.
He maintains a deadly silence.
I have, what, 4 videos in a row now
If the
that
man will
are
not explain himself,
not done yet?
he will not.
BB Can mid-season power ranking. This Saturday, next Wednesday is Australian Survivor review. The Saturday after that is the Survivor 42 mid-season power ranking, and then the Wednesday after that is the player ranking for Australian Survivor. So,
May God have mercy
yeah,
on
those
your
are obviously more priorities. Do I know who Hawk is? I think I do. Like, he's the guy from... Okay. Actually, what happens if you don't hit this? Fuck it. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, I knew who Hawk is. Yeah, he's the guy with the mohawk. Do we know when the other challenges are filming? I think they're filming now, aren't they? Or around now. They're all filming around the same time. It's just a matter of, like, do the spoiler people care enough to release it? Players that Gino didn't know who Sarah Hanlon was. I mean, like, also, I find it humorous that Jess got the Pax Bros. Because, like, obviously Jess is the person that's gonna love the Pax Bros. That was definitely the best pick there. And it's also funny that, so Marty won and got Jillian, and, like, he had to pretend like Jillian's my favorite player when, like, he talks on the feeds all the time about how Kevin Martin's his favorite player, and, like, what would Kevin Martin do and all this bullshit. Then Kyle got John, who he didn't know who John was, so it's really weird. Like, who's getting what? Like, obviously Kevin's gonna be next, right? Kevin Martin, so it's like, and maybe that's Marty's time to win again. But you think Gino's playing the best? I don't think. I think Kevin's for sure playing the best right now. Like, I haven't updated my power ranking, but. Which I will tomorrow, but if I were to guess, Kevin's for sure number 1.
I want answers.
Josh is probably number 2, I guess, though Josh is in a bit of danger for the long term, but short term he's very safe. Like, Herman's probably the best player, debatably the best. I think him and Kevin are probably the 2 best players on the cast, but he's not in the position that he should be. Like, he's a player that, like, would probably be number 1 for sure if this was BBUS. Like, if this was like BB24 and Herman was on there, I think Herman would dominate. But it's BB Can, where we have, like, so many people that don't know the game and how many people, like, are playing so sporadically that he's not able to keep anything together. Now, like, Gino for me is probably, like, number 5 or so at this point, I would guess. But, like, Gino is, like, essentially, like, the way the house is being played out now, where we are getting a bit more of a structure now, finally. Where essentially, Kevin and Helena are in the middle. Then we essentially have 2 sides. We have Summer being kind of leader of her side, with Tanisha, who's going home, and then Betty, and then, like, kind of Moose, kind of Herman, but Herman also doesn't really want to work with Summer anymore, and, like, they don't want to work with each other, so it's like, who knows. But then the other side is, like, Gino, JC, Marty, and kind of Jess. Big hesitancy on Jess. But yeah, like, Gino is the, like, big target on that side. Mind you, it does sound like they want to go for Marty before Gino, but, like, Gino's essentially in the position that, like, Ty was at this point in the season of BB Can 9. Where he's, like, the secondary target if the opposition gets HOH. Where, like, last season, and Ty was also, like, sometimes the number 1 target. But it was always Jed and Ty that were kind of grouped in together. It seems like now it's, like, Gino and Marty are kind of that, like, position for that side. Just also, like, don't have the power that the Jed and Ty contingent had last time.
He said when we warned him something like this would happen. Piffle.
Yeah, I think Summer, again, like, I've been talking about this for a while. I don't think Summer's as good of a player as people say. Like, I feel like she's just been very lucky in the, like, I think she is a good social player. I think she knows how to build one-on-one bonds. I think the problem is that I feel like she's this type of person that's only going to do that with people that she, like, cares enough to do it with. Like, she's not like someone that is going to build bonds with everyone. Like, she's not like a true social butterfly to me. Like, she's someone that I think, again, I think like with the Kyle situation was like one of these situations where it's like, she did not have a good relationship with Kyle by the end, obviously. But I think like that benefited her because everyone else was against Kyle. But if it had been a situation where Kyle did have solid allies, then I feel like she like would not be in as good of a position as she would. Like, I don't know if she's able to read other players correctly, where I think she's going to do what she's going to do based on what she perceives her relationships to be, but isn't going to actually be able to accurately read what the other players are thinking. And I think she just got lucky with the Kyle situation. Everyone else also hated Kyle.
The people yearned for freedom but feared to grab hold of it. That fear is gone now.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, I do find that funny too. Yeah, that Summer was like, and really everyone was talking about that in the house of like how, oh, Kyle, this 23-year-old, we're not going to let him tell us what to do. It's like, you're not that much older. Like, most people in the house are what, like 25 to 30. It's like you're only a few years. It's not that major of a difference. And yeah, like Summer in particular is literally only 2 years older.
By planting the seeds of doubt.
Yeah, I think Betty might be at the bottom of my player ranking.
If Washington is
or my, not player ranking, sorry, power ranking, when I do the mid-season power ranking. Like, I don't know, it's weird because like I'm listening to RHAP and they're talking about like Betty as like, that Betty might, like, they think Betty would have a chance at the end. It's like, I don't see that. Like, I can't imagine Betty sitting against almost anybody and like legitimately having a chance at winning the game.
Or most assuredly.
Like, I mean, I think there's like maybe possibilities. Like, I'm looking at the group, like Betty versus JC. There's a chance. Betty versus Jess. There's a slimmer of a chance. Betty versus Helena. I think there's maybe a chance. I think that's pretty much it. And even then, it's like, is Betty actually getting to the end? I don't think so. And if she is, I think she's getting dragged to the end.
Now, my friend.
And even then, it's like there's other people that have like are just better positioned. Like the people that would drag her to the end are better positioned in the game than she is. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't really see the win potential from Betty. But again, like RHP seems to think so. But again, I don't see it. So I think she will be on the bottom. We'll see though. Well, I mean, really, like, we'll have to see after next week, or after double eviction, I mean, in particular. Just, I mean, like, if we're doing safety chain for this double eviction, like, Betty might be the one to go anyway. I mean, it might be Moose, actually. Moose is also probably in danger for doing safety chain. The thing is, like, if we're doing safety chain, like, I'm assuming what's going to happen tomorrow, if we are doing safety chain, which is what they implied, I'm assuming that we're going to get an HOH comp. The winner of the HOH starts the chain, right? So, essentially, with there being, like, kind of more solidified sides at this point...
You there, Rebecca?
I think whoever's on the bottom of one of these sides is going home, right? So, like, let's say, like, one of the Gino, Marty, Jess, or JC's of the world, or to be honest, Jess is actually a big contender to go home. Because, like, who's actually going to care? Oh, did Reddit already do it? Okay, yeah, I do want to see this, actually. But yeah, like, I feel like, yeah, like, Jess, Betty... I don't know, with JC... I don't think JC would go home, right? Either way, like, they're... It should be interesting, but like I feel like we're gonna lose. We're not gonna lose like the biggest player on the board tomorrow. Okay, here. Why is my internet being so slow? Whatever. What is Safety Chain? It is a game like I don't like. Did it originate on Sequester? But essentially on Sequester, there is a game called Safety Chain where essentially the way that the round is determined is that one person gets picked to be the start of the chain, and that person saves someone else, and you continue to go down the line until there's no one else that's able to be safe. That the like last person that isn't safe ends up going home automatically. So it's really like actually no, it wasn't on BB. Oh no, it was the opposite, right? On on OTT, where it was that's how you determine the HOH. And obviously Mon Wan, they did it on. I mean, yeah, it is Mon Wan, but like Sequester did it first. I mean, yeah, it's essentially that. But yeah, like, are they going to do it where the person automatically goes home, or are they going to do it the two people left go into a vote? Yeah, so most situations lead to Moose on the block. Really, actually, every situation leads to Moose, according to this, with the exception of obviously Moose winning. If it's Jess versus Moose on the block, Moose probably goes home, right? Betty versus Moose. Moose probably goes home in all these situations. Yeah, I mean, this should be interesting though, because like I feel like it's like it kind of just like gets rid of some like it just kind of makes it like an easy week in a way, where like I feel like we're just getting rid of like, even though we're probably not gonna get like this big explosive double eviction moment, I feel like we're probably gonna be getting rid of someone that isn't like gonna do well anyway, so we don't have to waste the entire week on them. Like that's usually how Safety Chain ends up working out anyway. Is that the person that ends up going home from it is someone that like was already like not going to do well anyway.
Now to find a ticket.
Is Moose a bad player? I don't know if he's a bad player, but I just don't think he knows the game. Well, I should say he does not know the game. He's literally never watched the show, and I feel like that's like very much showing. I feel like he's someone that could learn the game and then could potentially do well. But I think in his current position of like how much game knowledge he has, I just don't think he knows enough.
That doesn't look like normal security.
To navigate through Big Brother. Which again, I think Big Brother is even more so than Survivor is a game where you need to have game knowledge. Like even like the people like Anthony Douglas, who is like come into the season with no game knowledge. Even his like greatest flaw in the game is him not recognizing how the jury works, and it's like things that he could have picked up on had he watched the show and like recognized how the show worked. And obviously, same thing happens with Paul and BB19. Like I feel like with Big Brother more so than even Survivor, you need to know how the show works. Like you need to have watched the show to have an understanding of it. But to be fair, I mean, BB Can is probably not the best show to watch. Like, probably watching BBUS is probably more beneficial. I think that's what happened to Kyle, is that Kyle thought he knew what to do because he had only watched BB Can, but because BB Can is such a train wreck in terms of what they prop up on the show, he got, like, the wrong ideas from it. Well, I mean, Paul had never watched the show. Even on BB19, he never watched his season. And because of that, he didn't know how the jury worked. He didn't know that the jury was, like, able to talk to each other and that they would, like, create this, like essentially figure out that he was lying to all of them. And, like, he didn't recognize that that's, like, he didn't know how the jury worked, essentially. What I think of Suzette, I find her really annoying. I really hated her at the time. Yeah, not a good player either. Debatably worst player of the season. I mean, probably Danielle Alexander is the worst, but probably second worst. Again, like I'm probably still going to do the BB Can player ranking of ranking every player. Like I would suspect Suzette's pretty low on that. I mean, I think he like knew that they were going to be living in a house together, but I don't think he understood that like they would be able to talk game, and that they would be able to like figure out what he was doing essentially. Save Ness better be bottom 10. I don't know if she's bottom 10. She's low, obviously, but she's still like someone that's at least like competent in competitions. And like BB Cam 5, like she was doing really well for the first like 4 or 5 weeks, and then she just blows up her own game through getting rid of Netta. But like before that, like she was like in one of the best positions in the house. So it's like I don't know if she's like all the way at the bottom. I do find Betty humorous. Like if I was in the house with Betty, I'd be really annoyed with her. But like from like the offset, just watching Betty, I do find Betty like just kind of funny to watch. Just be like she's very different from the typical Big Brother casting choice, which like she has like no like she can't comprehend the game. It feels like where like she feels like every single thing that's done is like a personal attack towards her. And, like I do feel like that's like a funny like thing to follow. I mean, yeah, she doesn't see her own faults, but that's what's funny about it to me. Again, she's a bad player, and yeah, like I don't really see much potential in her as a player, but like as a TV character, I do find it somewhat funny. All right. I wasn't part of the online community in BB20, but during the season was Tyler viewed universally as the massive frontrunner the whole way? Yes. I mean, like, I think he was, like, by far the number one until the Bailey boot. And I think when the Bailey boot happened, people started to think, okay, maybe, like, he would lose in a bitter jury. But yeah, I mean, like, he was pretty much the frontrunner the entire way. Okay. And like even coming into the finale, like I think the like while like the like concept of Casey being Tyler was like something that could happen, I think most people still thought Tyler was going to win that jury. Amazing. Tanisha goes home. She's going home. I mean, I feel again like I'd be surprised if she doesn't at this point. Worst twist survivor history. I mean, it's Hourglass. Hourglass or Do or Die. Again, like Do or Die at least like didn't like I don't know. Like I'm conflicted on the two because like Hourglass is the most bullshit twist. But Do or Die like fundamentally, I mean, also forced fire making, like both of them, like fundamentally go against what Survivor is in terms of like the vote out and everything. Where like at least with Hourglass, like while it's like bullshit how it like determines who's up for elimination and whatnot, at least like people are still being voted out. Like at least there's an out there. Where like Do or Die, is like you're not even voting someone out; it's literally just random chance. Mind you, again, you do have agency before that, where like the players could all just turn it down. But like I still like don't love it as a concept. And then yeah, forced fire making is really bad. But I don't know if you would consider that a twist or just a format change.
What is a fact? Is it fixed? Immutable? Certain in its existence?
Yeah, that is the thing with Scotty. Where he did talk about that, yeah, that he voted, that one, and it's not the main reason, I don't think, but one of the reasons he did vote for Casey is because he thought Tyler was looked at as the Paul, and because of the reaction to Paul losing, where like the superfan community was so happy that Paul lost, that he thought it would be a similar thing with Tyler, so he voted for Casey, thinking that like everyone would be happy to see a bitter jury. I mean, Scotty's a fucking like train wreck on that season, like really like all around. Like from his gameplay, from like how he handles like his jury vote, how he like tries to rectify it after the fact. Like, what the fuck? Fessy confused me on his vote. I mean, like, I think the thing with Fessy is that he respected the competition. He respected like Casey winning all those vetoes at the end. Because like he had a closer relationship with Tyler throughout the season. Like he really like never talked, like barely talked to Casey on the season, which is funny considering they're like really close friends now because of the challenge. But yeah, I mean like barely talked on the season. But he had like a lot of respect for her competition wins at the end. I think that's the thing with Tyler. Is like Tyler like really stops winning competitions towards the end game. It's like he wins a lot at the beginning, but then like towards the end, like it's really Casey winning a lot of it. I feel like that's like where like Fessy starts to switch. Also, I mean like Haley was pro Casey initially. Like really, the Haley, Scotty, Fessy contingent was like voting together, and they were all leaning Casey. Haley switches her vote at the last second. And that's why, like I've talked about in the past, that I think if this had been the old jury format where they don't vote immediately afterwards, where they have like time to think about it and whatnot, I think Tyler wins. Like I think Haley would have been able to talk to Fessy and tell him to vote for Tyler, and I think Tyler would have won. Just in that case, but also like even Bailey has talked about how like even she was like reconsidering her vote. Just through the jury questions. So it's like, I feel like Tyler would have won. But also, it's like they knew the jury format. It's not like they didn't know how the jury was going to work, like how the voting was going to work in jury questions. So it's like, it's also a flaw there, but like I do feel like Tyler really is probably the closest a loser's gotten to winning, right? Like, what is the like? Essentially, he's like the Dom Abate, I guess, of Big Brother. Where obviously, like Dom, like was literally a tiebreaker away from winning. Like Tyler's essentially in a similar position with.
She called out across time in the hopes.
Oh, really? Viacom got to Will Nuff.
Messages where none might find them.
Not surprising,
And those within this
but obviously disappointing if that is the case. If he is not Survivor.
The cryptic warnings, the threats.
Again, he did finish Cagayan. I did watch that. He also started Blood vs. Water last night, and I watched that. But yeah, again, would be disappointing if he didn't continue. I did look at his Discord real quick to see like what seasons they were planning on watching, which I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the order. But again, like definitely disappointed if they don't continue.
Killed her, you know.
Any recent losers that would have benefited from the lower format? Again, I think Tyler's the main one. Outside of that, I don't think it plays that much of a factor most of the time.
What would happen if I let her live?
Like, Big D was never winning against Xavier. Enzo was never winning against Cody.
But I didn't have to.
Though I think he maybe could have gotten a vote or two, but like, to be fair, he performed terribly, so like he's not getting a vote. Holly was never winning against Jackson by the time they got to the end.
I saw the satellite launched. I saw them turn it on. And
I don't think Paul was going to be able to do anything both of his times. Yeah, I mean, I really feel like it's only Tyler. I don't think there's any other situation that plays that big of a factor.
To be careful.
Oh, you didn't even get to watch the Blood vs. Water one? Yeah, he did like the Brad Culper math scene, but it wasn't like that big of a reaction, though. He was liking the season so far. Like, the only thing him being like really disappointed in was Rupert going home right away. But yeah, like I feel like there's a lot there that would have been fun to see him watch with Blood vs. Water. Especially by the end game, and when you get the rock draw and Sierra voting out her mom and all that stuff. Wonder if Nicole would have won with the old format. We're talking about Nicole Franzel in 22? If that's the case, then like I think maybe against Enzo. But I don't think against Cody. Would have voted for Big D over Azza. I probably would have too. But I mean, they're both bad. But also, I mean, like, this is you who hates Azza. But like, I probably would have voted for Big D over Azza, realistically.
I wonder what stories the temple will tell me today.
I think Azza's the better player, but like, I think Azza like just doesn't even try to play for most of the season. So Blood vs. Water is one of the best themes. I agree and disagree. I agree from a game standpoint, but I disagree from a casting standpoint. I think from a casting standpoint, it's usually pretty bad. Where, like, again, I don't think there's been really none of the Blood vs. Water seasons have led to a perfect cast. Mind you, I am pretty high in the cast of Blood vs. Water 1, but again, that was with returnees, and I think that changes the casting formula. But if we're looking at, like, 29, there's a good chunk of duds there. Like, this season of Australian Survivor, good chunk of duds there. I actually feel like that's the way Blood vs. Water works, that usually there's going to be people that are there that are kind of just tag-alongs. But yeah, like, game-wise, I think there's a lot of interesting dynamics with, like, how these loved ones interact with each other in a game where, like obviously, like, this Mark and Sam dynamic of this season was really interesting, where they were essentially playing as one, where they had to, where, like, Sam is, like, trying to sacrifice her game and put Mark in the best position. Like, that's interesting. You have the, like, Chrissy voting against Croc. Stuff like that. Again, like, I mean, which, to be fair, I don't think that situation happens that often. But still. There is interesting stuff to come from the Blood vs. Water team from a gameplay perspective.
What's up?
Your politicians are constantly referencing the founding fathers.
Against Cody, again, I don't think she would have that much of a chance.
I have never seen such a blatant disregard for history.
That's just typical political.
Like, I think she could get, like, maybe 2 or 3 votes, but I can't see her actually getting 5.
Based off scraps of paper.
I think, like, in that situation, like, we say that, like, she has to get, like, Ian.
What these men envision for our country.
But I still don't think it's super likely.
Idealistic and unlikely. I don't think most of your presidents and senators and judges care what the founders thought. They just want to
still don't get why they cast twins. Me neither. I mean, like, again, like, obviously, like, it sucks to see people get purpled, whatnot, but like, they don't seem that interesting. Even from, like, the little we have seen of them.
As an individual, believe, and why you believe
I don't get why they're there.
So insecure that we have to find.
Volunteer ranking is fun. Yeah, they did come up today, right?
Our beliefs. Oh, look, Mum, a dead man agreed with me. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, most of that list was like, that was like really easy to put together. I was like, even though that, I think I made that video a while ago at this point.
Doesn't make it less true.
Oh, no, actually it was in January. Okay. But either way, like, that was like one that was a super quick turnaround. Just because, like, I pretty much knew the ranking right away. Like, there wasn't that much thought that had to go into it. How do I watch SA? I don't even remember anymore, if I'm being honest. How did I watch SA? Did I use Down Under, or... I legitimately don't remember anymore. How did I watch SA? I think, actually, now I think about it, I think there were links on the SA Reddit. The Survivor SA Reddit. And I think I used those for most of the season.
So, what's the latest? Learn anything interesting while you were exploring?
They were working.
I see the flying Tesla, is that thing?
Trying to
which cast is better? Sam Wandelsir or Bloodlines? I would say Sam Wandelsir. But obviously the challenge just is like its own separate beast.
What is it? Why is it locked up if it's exactly what we
You switch Ashley and Dimitri's.
Maybe it's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the same tier.
That's the other question.
Again, like, them and then Derek were like all like in the similar tier to me.
I guess we'll know once we open the door.
It's like they're mostly interchangeable. But again, like, the top 3 were pretty secure, and like the placements in that top 3 were very secure, and the bottom 2 were very secure. But yeah, the middle 3 are like kind of like whatever. I'm pretty solid on Derek being 6. But yeah, like Ashley and Dimitri is like whatever. I mean, it's not too dissimilar of games. Is that it? Whatever, let's just go back in.
Oh, look at that. I found a third power source.
Already.
Do a video where I give each season a title. I could do that, but like I don't think it's that interesting for most of them. Right? Like, I feel like most of them have like an easy title, right? Because like a lot of them do have themes.
No, you stay. We need
something I kind of forgot about until I rewatched BB3 is that like the tagline for BB3 was "Expect the Unexpected." I kind of forgot like that wasn't even
everything's going to be fine. I'll be back soon.
Like a thing until season 3.
Ready
was the
when you are,
phrase "expect the unexpected."
Winter approaches. The air is still and sharp with grim expectation. The others sense it too and go about their work with uncommon urgency.
Yeah, let's see.
I
Flying
would like to
Tesla.
help them, but more pressing matters now demand my attention. The Templars have targeted George Washington directly and will not
3 was
rest
an
until
intro
he's dead.
POV, yes, but the
I had
silver
hoped to
power
shield
veto
him
for
from
most of
this
it.
knowledge, but
So it's a veto that you can't use on yourself, which is really dumb. Mind you, it wouldn't have mattered most of the time anyway, because like I believe the only time a nominee wins it is the week that Roddy goes home, where Amy won it, which is like didn't matter. Like Roddy was going home anyway, and actually at that point it would have made it easier to vote out Roddy because they would have more of an excuse.
Don't do this.
But yeah, by the way, on the so now that I'm done with the rewatch, I did say last stream that I think Jason was above Danielle. I think I might have Danielle above Jason after I'm done with the rewatch. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, I was, like, more impressed with Jason for the first half of the season. I feel like the back half of the season, Jason really does go all in on him wanting to play with, like, honor and whatnot. It's like, he does do the Marcellus move, but, like, outside of that, he is talking a lot about wanting to be loyal.
Then tell me on whose
And, like, him... Like, was it during, like, like, I actually forgot about this during his HOA tweet. That, like, literally everyone is going to him telling him to put up Roddy, and he doesn't put up Roddy. And, like, also, like, Jason is in more danger than I remembered throughout the game. Where, like, there's a lot of points where, like, Jason's, like, really worried he's gonna be nominated. And then also, it's like, obviously, Final Four, he would have been voted out. Had Amy won HOH. Then obviously, like, he gets voted out 3. Like, I probably am lower on Jason as a whole after this, but he's still obviously very high. Yeah, like, I think I might actually go back to Danielle being 1, Jason 2. I'm debating over Marcellus or Roddy 3. Because, like, Roddy really does not play that good of a game by the end of it. And it's like, it's weird because, like, he's a player that is, like, probably the only one on the season that actively recognizes, like, this version of Big Brother. That this is a game where people are going to go home and see, like, footage of you talking about them. After the fact. Oh yeah, I forgot about Lisa's 3. Lisa's 3. I'm sorry. Okay, 4 or 5 is Marcellus or Roddy. Yeah, like Roddy is like one of the few people there that recognizes the game, like that specific game for what it is. But I mean, he also like he's in a very good position for like weeks 1 through 3. But then like after the fact, he's just like completely on the outs, and he's like kind of being safe. Like he does do some good work here and there. Like he does guilt trip Jason to not putting him on the block, but he is on the bottom pretty much the entire time. And like his own allies are taking each other out, or like Kiara takes Josh out, which is also idiotic. And like he's kind of ineffective in trying to get Kiara to not do that. Ever broken a bone? No, I've not. I thought I did, like, when I was, like, 5 or 6. Or, like, I was doing monkey bars, or I fell off, and, like, I thought being a kid, like, any sort of pain, I guess. I thought I would, like, broke a bone, but, like, no, I was fine. But Marcellus is not that bad. Like, people, like, think of Marcellus as a really bad player, obviously, because of the veto move. And, like, that is very bad. But, like, outside of that, he plays a pretty solid game. I think I do worry about jury chances with him, where, like, I don't know, like, really, because, like, Jason and Roddy seem to be the 2 biggest jury threats on the season, where I think I think Jason beats anybody, like, after now having read exit interviews, or read, like, interviews out there for whatever, and, like, rewatching season and whatnot, I think Jason beats everybody, then Roddy, and then probably Lisa. I think the one question mark I do have is, like, did Jason blindsiding Marcellus change people's votes? Like, would that have turned people off? But if that's not the case, then I think Jason is, like, far and away the biggest jury threat. Because like literally every single interview mentions that they're rooting for Jason. Like after they had seen the footage from outside, even like after knowing about the Secret Alliance and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, like I think, again, like it's weird with Jason, like as a player, because again, like that's obviously like a massive pro there, but like I do feel like he's not as good strategically as I thought he would have been, but whatever. But yeah, is he still better than Drew? Probably not, because I think like really that's the thing with Jason that I think he's lacking is the killer instinct. Well, like I feel like Drew has the killer instinct. And also, Drew's probably better in competitions. I think Jason's probably just better all around socially, but like, I feel like I would give the edge to Drew. Do I think Jason's better than Eric? Like, I think Jason does better on more seasons. Like, I don't remember where I had them on the player rankings and whatnot, but yeah, like, I think Jason's a more consistent player, but I think Eric is a more like kind of knows what he's doing a bit more. Do I think Dr. Will would have done well on any season of Big Brother? In terms of like I think Will, like I think the BB2 format definitely benefited him with people being able to see him from home, like where like I think if it was like BB4, like the time of BB4 or BB5, like I don't know if Dr. Will wins that season. While like BB2 with people seeing him from home, I think that definitely benefited him there. But then by BB7, I think the like expectation of gameplay was went up a bit, and like I think by that point, like Will would have won All Stars against pretty much anybody by the end game. And like moving forward, like I feel like Will's one of these people that probably wins a jury vote if he gets to the end of any season he plays. Just that, again, can he get there? Not sure. What am I doing right now? Where am I going? Oh, this is like far away. Oh, is this the fucking Washington thing? Yeah, we are. Oh yeah, this is a sequence of fucking Hatham. Do I even want to do this right now? Because I did want to do more side content. It's a homestead mission. Let's do that. Jay and Stephanie are hosting a double eviction watch party. Well, that's something. Is Kyle going to be there? I did see Kyle posted a tweet for the first time since he left the house, so that's something. I didn't see how it's going for him. Rewatch the Enzi Nicaragua premiere. Why? Like, why would anyone want to do that? They're here that Julie might be the host, might not be the host anymore. I did see that, but like from what I understand, that was fake, right? That was like a fake Twitter account that someone like just like out of the blue created and tried to pretend like they were some sort of reporter. So like I don't know how true that actually is, but I did see that that's like a thing that's going around. Least favorite Big Brother alliance? Probably Grateful. At least they're up there. Oh, okay. But yeah, friendship. I mean, like, at the time, definitely the friendship. Where, like, I love the Sovereign Six. But, like, I think when watching it now, especially, like, just watching the TV show, I would probably be more, like, like, Grateful or maybe, like, BB19, like, Paul's Alliance. No, I'd probably be Grateful, though.
They demanded we give our entire yield to the crown.
Jason 3, Eric 1. Yeah, I felt like that was the case, but I didn't know for sure. Yeah, and then what, Tiffany, then Vanessa is 1, right? And yeah, like Tiffany obviously wasn't on those, so like I would probably I'd probably keep the list as is, and then yeah, like Tiffany would probably move
Something
above
you could do
Jason.
Instead.
Anything.
I live in a small community not
Worst AU player? I've said this many times. I think it's Matt Dyson
The people I live with would
from
have
Championship
neither
Contenders
fresh
1.
vegetables, wheat or corn. If you were to rebuild your farm, you may prosper.
What kindness is this? This certainly comes see. Thank you.
Every time I watch BB6, you dislike Jennifer even more. Yeah, I mean, Jennifer's definitely not the most likable person. I really like most of the people that season. Like, realistically, most of the people that season, in retrospect, are not the most likable people. Like, really, like, outside of Kaser and, like, I guess Janelle, like, no one else there is that likable. Like, even James is kind of a dick. You have, Howie, who's, like, again, hasn't aged well. I guess Sarah is, like, just there. But, yeah, I'm like, it's definitely not the most likable group of people. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is that, like, Matt Dyson and Dez, I think, are the top two. But then at that point, it's like, it's a matter of, like, which one do you think is worse? Someone that is, like, actively going to blow up their game in Matt Dyson, or Dez, who's probably just always poised to be an early boot just due to them, like, being older and not in shape and that sort of thing. What do I think of the Jess and Moose fight? It's like, they didn't show the worst part of it, right? I forgot about that. That they, they didn't show the, like the, what is it? Jess, like, calling him explosive and that sort of thing, right? They cut that out. I was also surprised that we didn't get the Josh, okay, that, like, there was a lot of flickering there, but we didn't get Josh and Kevin, and, like, Kevin adding Josh to their alliance. The casual fans like Clay on Thailand? I don't believe so, in retrospect. Again, I did look up a popularity poll, and, like, I know Brian was number 1 by the end of the season. I don't remember exactly where Clay was, but again, if Brian's 1, like, I would expect Helen to also be up there, so it's like, at that point, like, Clay's at least 3rd, and, like, yeah, at the end of the day, Clay's not super likable. The only reason I thought he would beat Brian is because I thought that, in a public vote I'm talking about, is because, like, I was thinking that, okay, maybe they didn't like Brian being the villain that he is, and then also, like, the more, like, rural people would, like, relate to Clay more, but I don't get the sense that that was actually a thing, so. Who do you think is playing the best game of 42 so far? If we're talking about, like, pure game, probably Omar. Probably. Or, I mean, like, maybe Romeo? If we're talking about, like, in-game, like, obviously, like, not factoring edit. Like, I think Romeo's for sure playing the best from Ika. Yeah, Omar's playing the best from Taku, and then Vati's just a train wreck by, I guess, Hai. But it's, like, also, like, Hai was, like, about to be blindsided at the last round, so it's, like, it's not even, like, he's that great. Thoughts on Swati? Just whatever. In, like, both gameplay and character-wise. Yeah, like, she's fine. I don't have anything against her. I'm not really, like, a big Swati fan, either. I think she's someone that could do well if she were to return, but no. Not looking, like, I don't think it's super likely, and I don't really, like, need it either. I would have been blindsided if Chanel didn't whisper to Daniel. Potentially, but I mean, either way, yeah, like, he And like all like just if any of those like if Mike or Chanel had their votes, he would have been taken. He would have been outvoted there. So it's like, like even though like he ends up playing the round pretty well by the end of it, it's like he also like does where like he wouldn't have even had the opportunity to play that well had like these other situations that like didn't happen. Like essentially if Chanel did not risk her vote, that wouldn't have even mattered anyway. And then also if Mike didn't have the Beware advantage, that wouldn't have mattered anyway. Dre reminds you of Natalie Anderson. Oh, not really to me. Dre, I will say, like, through watching this episode, I find Drea kind of boring. Like, it feels like she has, like, no personality. Like, she just feels, like, kind of cold in her confessionals, and, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the most interesting person in the world.
Supply caravans meant for the camp have
But, like, even gameplay-wise, like, I don't know if she's, like, Natalie Anderson.
A traitor named Benjamin Church, recently released from prison.
I mean, Squeeze.
The two of them.
Oh yeah, I definitely watched Kim Spradlin's HGTV show. I did see that in the bio of her on the show. Like it mentions that she's a 3-time Survivor winner, which is like, why not? I guess. It's like funny. It's like she hasn't even been on Survivor 3 times. Yeah, like they're claiming she's a 3-time Survivor winner. it's like the Stephen Bear thing, where like Bear on War of the Worlds talks about how he's a 2-time Big Brother winner. It's like you've only been a Big Brother once. It's like what do you mean you're a 2-time winner?
We've received reports of trouble along the southern road. Might be he's responsible.
Yeah, last shot in darts.
I suggest you begin your search there.
Again, I think a lot of that comes down to them not properly blindsiding people. Where, again, something RGP mentioned that I do think plays a factor here is that, like, I do think Shannon Ricard did very effective work in blindsiding the people that they were voting out to where, because, like, all of the pre-merge tribals, or like most of the pre-merge tribals were UA tribals. Like you only had Voce and Abraham, which by the way, I did do like some, I went through a rabbit hole of rewatching some vote offs and whatnot. But like rewatching the Abraham vote off, it's so funny how he's blindsided when like even Evie talks about in their like RGP interview and whatnot that like they weren't even trying to hide that Abraham was going home. So like it's funny that like Abraham gets blindsided and like doesn't even use his shot in the dark when like they didn't even try to make it seem like he wasn't going home. Matt Rogers for Challenge AU. I think that'd be interesting. Like I don't know if it was like a standard challenge. I don't really have much of an interest in it. But yeah, Challenge AU. I mean, like in terms of like War of the Worlds here, where we're getting like a lot of people in their 40s. It's like why not? Yeah, calm down, Bray. What are you even talking about? Any chance of Tim doing AU challenge? Maybe. Tim Dormer we're talking about? Yeah, maybe. I mean, we really know nothing about Challenge AU from my understanding. I haven't really been following, but I haven't seen anything about Challenge AU. So for all we know, like maybe there's a lot of like big names on it, but don't know.
Father. Connor. Any last words?
What network is that? It is on the same choice. I believe it's on the same network as Survivor, right? Australian Survivor?
Brothers? Benjamin Church is no brother of mine. No more than the Redcoats or their idiot king. Oh, I expected naivete, but this...
yeah, so it's on 10. So yeah, it's on the same network as Australian Survivor. So yeah, like I feel like there's going to be Australian Survivor people on it. I'd be very surprised if there's not.
Johnson, Pitcairn, Hickey. They sought to steal land, to sack towns, to murder George
yeah, I did hear about Bruce Willis, which is like,
we might keep it
obviously sad.
Again,
but also
into
like
encourage diplomacy, which you cocked up thoroughly enough to start
probably
a
like
goddamn war.
we didn't need him to be acting anymore anyway.
Washington
But
is a wretched leader. He's lost nearly every battle in which he's taken part. The
I
man's
also suppose
ramped
he's
with
like a massive
uncertainty and
dick.
insecurity.
But again, still,
Only look at Valley Forge. No
sucks
more
to see
words
him
of We're all
have
better off
to
without
like essentially being forced to stop acting.
Look, much as I'd love to spar with you, Benjamin Church's mouth is as big as his ego.
I feel if Ozza won the challenge.
Supplies he's stolen.
By the way, should we talk challenge spoilers? I probably won't, right? But there has been a lot of drama going on with challenge spoilers. With challenge CBS, I should say. But
Perhaps some time together might do
I don't know
us
if we
good.
should talk about it or not.
You are my son, after all, and might still be saved from your ignorance.
Yeah, there's definitely a pattern going on with the spoilers, which would be interesting to talk about. Oh yeah, Loki. I feel like if Loki's not on the challenge. That would be pretty surprising.
Do you even know where Benjamin Church has gone?
You know what? Fuck it. Okay, let's talk challenge CBS spoilers. So again, anyone that doesn't want to talk challenge, doesn't want to know about spoilers for challenge CBS, again, just tune out. I mean, I won't go like super in depth, but like, like still talk about a general thing that's happening. So again, if people don't want to hear it, tune off. Whatever. Yeah, Cookout's going out one by one. And yeah, there is this drama right now with Xavier having unfollowed Alyssa and DX. It's making people think that yeah, obviously that they played a factor. But yeah, I mean, like in a way, like kind of disappointed, but also like kind of not. I mean, like obviously the worry coming into the season was there were so many big B23 people that like were they just going to dominate? I mean, from Janelle. Janelle did a podcast a few weeks ago, where she talks about how like the reason why supposedly a lot of bigger names turned it down is because they knew that the Cookout was going to be on there, and that they, really a lot of B23 people were going to be on there, and they didn't want to bother with all the pre-gaming. And like it's funny to see now that like all the BB23 people are not doing that well. But yeah, so as of right now, Kylan is the only Cookout member still in the game, which would not surprise me if Kylan is the person that led to their like downfall as well. Like if you were to tell me that Kylan's the person to flip on the Cookout, I'll be like, that's about right. I think that's definitely what I would expect.
Snow has obscured the tracks, but enough remains that we can still follow.
But yeah, I mean, I was very, very much a surprise though, seeing Xavier go out so early. I don't know if he had like a big target on his back, considering he's like the winner of, he's the like last winner of BBUS.
Just my look.
But still, definitely, and also like again, going beyond Big Brother, also Cinco is out, who's someone that I definitely thought was going to be a top contender out of the people that I didn't know anything about. So yeah, it's weird that like we're at the point now where like no Survivor person's gone home, right? Oh, Shan has gone home, but like outside that, it's like. Yeah, a lot of Survivor people left. Like, 3 or 4 Big Brother people gone, right? And then a couple Love Island people. So it's like, I mean, again, most of Survivor is sticking strong.
It was not wise to run.
Hey, stop talking about this Andrea stuff. Like, who fucking cares? Yeah, Desi, I mean, like, I forgot, did I ever officially make my pick? I think, again, I forgot if I ever officially made the winner pick or not, but if I'm picking a winner pick for CBS, I think I'm picking Danny and Desi. I think those are 2 people that I feel the most confident about at this point.
Just do as I ask.
No, Ozza wasn't the first boot. She's actually the latest boot. Where I think it just got announced today, right? Or was it yesterday? But not too long ago that Ozza is gone. Anything on Amazing Race players? Like, in terms of spoilers, one person's out. But, yeah, it's only, 3 people, right? You got Kayla, you got James, right? I forgot which one of Will and James. And then you have Leo from the Afghanimals. But yeah, was it James is out already?
It was a good haul today. Saw a bit of gunpowder in those crates. We'll get extra for that.
But the other two, I believe, are still in. I might have forgotten for all I remember, but yeah, I believe the other two are still in. Actually, who is still in? Let's actually look this up, because I generally don't remember half the cast at this point. Enzo's still in, right? I forgot about that. Enzo's still there. Dominic is still there. Tasha's... Oh yeah, Tasha's gone. Tasha's gone. I forgot about that. So it's another survivor person. But yeah, so Alyssa's still there. Angela is still there. Cache is still there. Kayla's still there. Desi is still there. Justine is still there. Yeah, a lot of Island people are still there too. Sarah Lacina is still there, so that's lovely. Ben is still there. But yeah, Danny's still... David's still there. Holy shit, I didn't even remember that until now. I forgot that David is still there. Tyson's still there too, so that's a good one too. How did Leo make it this far though? I feel like Leo is a kind of a surprise that he made it this far. Hope Dom and Enzo are bros. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they've met each other outside of Challenge. Like, I'll be very surprised if they don't know each other. Again, they're both from Jersey, right? And then, again, I know Enzo's like someone that like goes to all the events and everything. So I'll be surprised if they hadn't met at some point. Oh yeah, X on the Beach starts soon. I'll be honest, I have actually been watching some of the intros that they've been posting on Twitter. Like like they've been asking like the cast questions. I kind of watched some of those. I'm debating over whether or not to watch it or not. Dom, Enzo, Ben, Sarah likely group. I could definitely see that. Yeah, we know Ben and Dominic know each other. I don't know about Sarah. Well, I mean, obviously Ben and Sarah, but like I don't know if Dominic knows Sarah. But again, I guess if they just have Ben, and that's like a group there. And then obviously if Enzo knows Dominic, then yeah, that's an easy 4 to come together. Oh, yeah, and is Tyson gonna be in there too? Because like we know Dom and Tyson know each other too. Because they all had like a poker thing that they did together. Yeah, oh yeah, is this is this where the Poker Alliance is gonna play a factor? Obviously a different Poker Alliance. Like not the one that was on season 40, but like a different Poker Alliance. Because again, like it's essentially it's Ben, Dominic, and Tyson were all there. I don't remember if Enzo was there or not, but like it would not surprise me if he was like somewhat connected.
Is he here?
Well, yeah, this is the second coming of a Poker Alliance. That Tyson's just always a part of a Poker Alliance. Did Tyson and Ben ever interact on Winners at War? I don't think so, right? I mean, like, obviously Ponderosa, maybe, but... Oh, actually, wait, no, they were at the Merch Tribe together. So, like, obviously we don't see it on the show, but, like, yeah, they definitely interacted on the island at some point.
Must be a Yank spy.
But yeah, like, they knew each other beforehand. Like, they went to Runner-Up Reno a couple times together. Not actually going together, but I mean, they were both there, and they met up because they had a Survivor meetup. So, like, they at least know of each other.
Really in a position to be making threats, are ya?
Thoughts on Beyond the Edge? I did not pay attention to it. Like, I didn't pretty much at all this time. Like, at least last time I saw the beginning, I saw the end. This time I legitimately didn't pay attention to any of it. I'm kind of out on the show. I really just don't care about it. What's the deal with Leo? Is he good TV? He's fine TV. The Afghanimals, like as a duo, are good too. I think the problem with Amazing Race just in general is that like it's tough to distinguish like which one's which with a lot of it, and like who's the like if they're like both entertaining or if they're only like entertaining because they're together. But like I feel like Leo will be like entertaining in the confessional, but. Really
If you
knows.
can't handle a couple of mercenaries, then we've really
Am I still going to include Beyond the Edge? I don't know. Because, like, realistically, like, I only watched one full episode. It's like, I don't know if it's worth it. I might, like, briefly mention it if I don't have it on the actual ranking. Because, like, no matter what, it's going to be at the bottom anyway. So, like, I don't know if it's, like, worth even bothering putting it on. Ben is the weirdest pick for Challenge CBS? Yeah. Definitely did not expect it. I thought he's done reality TV. Like, why the fuck did he come back? I don't know if I'm looting him. We're about to get to one of my favorite missions in the game. Do I expect Challenge CBS to be more trashy? Oh, than the average Survivor Big Brother season? Potentially, but, like, not really, though. I think it'll probably be on, like, Big Brother level, which is not much. Again, it is CBS. Like, CBS is still a family-friendly network. They're not gonna go too extreme there. Game? Okay. Actually, I do wonder too. Yeah, like it'll be interesting to see the confessional count for that, for Challenge CBS.
Evening, Connor. I see you made it here in one piece.
Like, realistically, it'll probably be like Ben. That's probably how it'll go.
Benjamin Church is holed up on an abandoned brewery on the waterfront.
Twitcher.
Should be done with this by sunrise.
Good. I would like
What's
to
my
have those
favorite
supplies
entrance
returned
theme
as
from
soon
The
as
Undertaker? All of them. I love
Wouldn't
all
want
of
to keep
them.
you from your
Because
lost
I definitely know all of them.
Come on, then.
Have any challenged people on Double Agent seen Winners at War? Probably not. Like, the thing is, like, I feel like no one, like, none of these challenged people have actually seen any of these shows, right? Like, very few of them. Where, like, again, like, Natalie has talked about, oh, it's the challenge beast from Survivor. It's like, she literally wins, what, one challenge? 2 challenges? In all of Winners at War? And, like, even the challenge that she wins, was one that she had, like, every fucking advantage. Oh, fuck off. Okay, well, perfect. Yeah, like, Natalie is definitely not the challenge beast that people bring her up as. She only wins, like, 1 immunity on San Juan del Sur also, right? Oh, and yeah, the final meeting with Samotion. I didn't remember. Yeah, so, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why is she a challenge piece? I guess the Edge challenge, is that what we're talking about? Where, like, she carries the logs or whatever? Like, I guess. But to be fair, that is probably the challenge that's actually the most comparable to the challenge. But still. Like, if I'm going by her Survivor record, she definitely wouldn't have been, like, the #1 target. Yeah, well, Neff was, like, really mad at Kageon at the maze. I'm really, like, well, Neff just cares way too much about the challenges. I think that's really the thing. It's like, when really, like, most Survivor fans don't actually care at this point that much about the challenges. I mean, obviously, ideally, like, people would want, like, more variety in the challenges, wouldn't want, like, the same sort of obstacle course and puzzle that we get every single time, but yeah, I mean, like, realistically, fine. Just died there. I think of the last episode of Blood vs. Water, the Geordie boot, right? It was boring. I mean, knew Jordy was going home from the beginning. Really the only, like, level of intrigue was, like, oh, is Mark gonna play his idol or not? And then once they mentioned that, oh, it's the ghost of Jesse, like 5 minutes into the episode, it's like, okay, yeah, he's playing the idol. Soon Sarah would be dominant in the challenge. But yeah, she's never won individual immunity. Despite her playing 3 seasons and making it to merge on all 3 seasons, she's literally never won individual immunity.
Tell me something.
It's one of my favorite
You
scenes.
killed me when we first met. What stayed your hand?
Curiosity. Any other questions?
What is it the Templars truly seek?
Order.
I suspect the Wilnet
Purpose.
doesn't like Survivor.
Direction. No more than that. It's your lot that means to confound with this nonsense.
I mean, he spends like half his time on the phone anyway.
Time was.
Whatever.
The assassins professed a far more sensible goal. That of peace.
Freedom is peace.
Oh no. It's an invitation to chaos.
Will they ever bring back Gross Food Challenge?
Only
I
look
think
at
they
this
would.
little revolution your friends have started.
What, they had it back in, what,
I've
Ghost
stood
Island was
before
the last time?
Continental Congress and listened to them
Hasn't been
stamp
that
and
long.
shout. All in the name of liberty. But it is just noise.
And this is why you favor Lee?
He understands the needs of this would-be nation far better than the jobberknolls who
Dom
profess to
versus Ben
represent
Hall brawl. I mean, that'll be interesting. I think Ben has the advantage
Your
with
tongue
him.
has tasted sour
Grapes. The people have made their choice. It is Washington. Fuck me.
chose nothing. It was done by a group
Will I do good at Gross Food Challenge? Probably
to
not.
enrich themselves. They convened in private and made
Again, like, I eat the
decisions
same, like, 10 foods, pretty much, so it's like, it's not really. Yeah, I'm fucking not eating, was it balut, or whatever. I'm not eating that shit.
And those you aid is that I do not feign affection.
How in the world were people so stupid that Mark has 2 idols? In terms of, like, not believing he had 2 idols, or what? But, like, I mean, like, when looking at, like, the opportunities to, like, flush those idols, for, like, Josh in particular, who would have been the main person that would have had the opportunity to orchestrate a vote to flush the idols, it's like, there weren't that many opportunities that would actually make a lot, like, game sense to actually flush the idol. To be honest, I mean, like, this actually played out probably in the best case scenario for Josh, and where they were able to flush both of them by the final 5 here. But, like, it really just does not make sense for Josh and Jordan to flip on Mark and Sam at most the opportunities that they were given. Rank every gross food challenge. Again, that could be up there as a video idea.
What is it?
And there's other ones I want to do first. Like, yeah, I did the prep for a final or fire making challenge ranking. I want to do like a ranking of every final immunity challenge. That's something I want to do.
We do this together or not at all.
Yeah, like in terms of like ranking like specific challenges, that's definitely a video idea though for down the road.
Very well.
Not believing he had 2 idols, yeah, like that I can't tell you.
Of course you will.
Like, I mean, it seems to like come from this notion that they didn't think that Jesse would be dumb enough to give up his idol. Which, yeah, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. But I've seen some people talk about how, like, they think this was, like, terrible for Mark to play the idol here because, like, now people are going to realize that he lied about the idol. I don't suspect that that's going to play a factor in anything. Especially because, like, you see the moment, like, actually, it's even the image that I'm using for my, for the episode, is that the moment that Mark pulls out his idol, Josh is smiling. Like, it's not like Josh is, like, pissed off that, like, how dare he, like, have you lied to me about the idol. It's like, Josh seems to, like, get it. Like, it's not like a situation where, I don't think there's going to be any, like, hard feelings over, like, oh, you lied to me this entire time about the idol. I don't know. I mean, there's people like again, like I think a lot of this just comes from the anti-Mark sentiment. But there's people that are talking about like how like terribly Mark played this last round, which I don't really agree. Well, he just like again, obviously it would have been ideal if he didn't play the idol, but like I fully get why he does play the idol now. Yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, I think I forgot to talk about that in the video. But yeah, it is dumb that we get to the final 6 and literally KJ and Shay get no confessionals in a final 6 episode. Like, that is really ridiculous. Especially when, like, they're flipping against Jordy. Like, why aren't they getting any content about that? Whatever. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I did hear about Fair Play being on Judge Harvey or whatever. I didn't watch it, though.
Hold, strangers.
But,
You
again,
tread on
what a
private
weird
property.
thing.
What business have you here?
The father of understanding guides us.
You I recognize, not the savage.
I kind of forgot that even happened. The Sam, that Mark didn't tell Sam about the idol at first. It's like, what is this world that we're in? Or like Mark is even telling his own wife. Did Heather get a confessional in the 41 finale? I believe so. I'm not 100%, but like, I would be surprised if she didn't. I think it's tough for you not to get... Actually, now that I think about it, Denise didn't get a confessional. Yeah, Heather got 3 in the 41 finale. But yeah, Denise didn't get a confessional in the Winners at War finale. Which is kind of insane considering that was a 3-hour finale. And they couldn't fit in one Denise confessional. Mind you, she wasn't that important to what was going on. Like, she gets taken out, obviously, due to, 3 idols played. So it's like they wouldn't have been able to like really talk to Denise about anything involving her going home because like she didn't think she was going home.
Must be strange for you, discovering my existence as you have.
I'm actually curious to know what your mother might have said about me.
Yeah, I mean, about Mark and Sam, it's like a lot of like the analyzing of Sam's game has to be done under the context that she wasn't trying to win. That her entire goal was to set up Mark to a win.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, you're sorry.
So it's like she doesn't really care about burning jury votes and whatnot because like she didn't expect to be there at the end anyway.
Charles Lee is responsible for her death by your order.
Yeah, I think I did see that someone like reposted some of his Cook Islands watch through on YouTube,
I spoke the opposite, in fact. I told them to give up the search for the precursor site. We were to focus on more practical pursuits.
In terms of the VODs.
And I'm all out of forgiveness.
Which is a shame. I don't think he's streaming. He's not. I know he's streaming right now, or at least he was when I started streaming. But I don't believe he's streaming. Even if like the Survivor stuff would happen, I don't believe he streams Survivor on Wednesdays anyway.
The Templar Order and abandoning our principles in pursuit of personal gain. In consideration.
By the way, I will also say I don't get the order. Like I looked up his Discord to see what the order of season that they were gonna do, and I just don't get why they're doing the order that they're doing. Like I really don't. Like who the fuck is making these decisions on his Discord? Because it's like, what is it? Because they skip from Here's His Villains
to stand with the
to Kageyama. Then they go back to Blood vs. Water. And the plan is to watch Blood vs. Water 2. And then I think it was Cambodia. Which again, without having watched Philippines, which is like, why aren't we watching Philippines?
But a dream is all it
which is like pretty universally looked at as like one of the best seasons. And then like I think they're planning on skipping Ko Wrong, but then like going to Malaysia Gen X, but then also skipping Game Changers, which like I mean fair, but like also Game Changers is one of the most important seasons of the modern like seasons. Like it's kind of weird to skip it, but then they were also going to skip 35 and 36 and go to Dave vs Goliath. And then go to Winners at War. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what is this? Like, I mean, like, it's so weird, like, how they... Like, I get, like, this setup to Winners at War, but, like, you're skipping so many of the, like, important seasons that matter to Winners at War. Callum had more confessions than Wendell? Yeah. Again, Callum was a big character at Ghost Island.
I'll tell you anything you want. Only promise that you'll let me live.
Why aren't they watching Worlds Apart? I think because of the ickiness.
You have my word.
But yeah, I think it would be a good season for him to watch.
He left yesterday for Martinique.
I think Worlds Apart and South Pacific are probably 2 seasons that would be good to watch for a stream.
That's all I know, I swear.
And again, Philippines would be good.
And he kept his word.
Ko Wrong would be good. Like, especially for what Will Neff likes. Like, I don't know why they're not watching Ko Wrong. Like, Ko Wrong feels like the type of season that he would like. Like, there's a lot of these, like, challenges where people are, like, passing out or whatever. We have the, like, Caleb stuff. You got, like, the Thai, like, backstabbing Scott Pollard. I feel like he'll find South Pacific boring. But he loves Coach, though.
We need to get out of here.
You don't say.
And then he loves Aussie, too, right? And you have, like, Brandon Hantz there. I feel like there's enough there. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just being an idiot. But I feel like there's enough there for him, though. Warrant watching. Oh, yeah, Nicaragua's another one. I feel like Nicaragua would maybe be an interesting one for him to watch, too. Where am I going? I'm just being a fucking idiot. I mean, Coach is not as entertaining on South Pacific. But again, it's still weird for him to love Coach on his first 2 runs, but then like just not actually watch the season that he's like the best in. Came to the conclusion that Australian Survivor hates women. I mean, that might be the Australian like thing. Like Australian TV in general, more so than Australian Survivor specific. But again, like I just think Australia, like the culture of Australia, especially around competition, is so based around this like concept of mateship and whatnot. And
so close, yet so far.
I think with that, like makes it just naturally cater towards men. Where like even I'm trying to think, like, so I mean, I guess Haley's the exception, right? Where like Haley got a big edit as a female winner of Australian Survivor. But he's like, Pia got like a decently sized edit, but even then, like, it wasn't like it wasn't like showing her to be that great. Like, even though like she got credit for like the David move and I like her storyline set up in episode 1 and whatnot, but like it definitely like David was propped up, Luke was propped up, like Harry was propped up more on that season. Though Shane was under edited, Chrissy was, I mean, by the end properly edited, but definitely wasn't like a top front runner. I just feel like I think season 1's probably the exception though, because like even then it's like you got Phoebe and Flick and Brooke who are like the 3 biggest players of the season. So I think that's probably the exception. But then you have like Australian Survivor 2002, where obviously like Luke is being propped up, Henry's being propped up, Lockie's being propped up, Jericho to a degree. Tara is the person that gets the most professionals, but again, it's mostly in a negative way, where she's never portrayed as like an actual threat to win the game. And then Champions of Contenders is like the Matt and Benji show for a lot of it, and then like Sean has a run at the end, but like also it's like again, like portrayed negatively at points.
I have a ship we can use.
And then All Stars is all David. So I mean, I really like Haley, and even with Haley, it's like she had George, who got more content in her. Have no faith in them changing anything for season 8. Because they're not. Like, I don't think they are. And, like, to be fair, the thing is, like, that we're criticizing Australian Survivor. But we're also, like, not their intended fan base. Like, we're not the people that they're catering to. Like, they're catering to the more casual Australian fan. Like, they don't care about, like, the super fan from across seas. And like the people that like analyze the edit and whatnot, they care about the person who is flipping through the channels and that just like stops by Australian Survivor because they think it's the most interesting thing on TV. Like that's who they're trying to get the attention of. Well, yeah, Will Neff would love Australian Survivor. I think he would. The problem is that it's longer episodes and more episodes, but I think just in terms of challenges and I think he's someone that like eats the edit up too, or like he just believes that like pretty much anything the edit shows him from a game standpoint. Yeah, like he would love Australian Survivor.
I told you this was a poor heading. Church is surely days ahead of us now.
Have some faith in the boy.
They should care. Yeah, they should. They don't though. And actually, I don't know. Like, should they? Like, I mean, it matters what their goal is. If they want a better product, then yes, they should care. But at the end of the day, they don't care about how good the product is. They care about how many people watch the product. And again, like at the end of the day, it's like we're such a small audience compared to the people that they're trying to get to watch the show that. If you, and even beyond this, like, if we want the show to last longer, we also, like, should want them to go in that direction, if that is what's going to cause the show to go longer. Now, obviously, Blood vs. Water's ratings have been down, but also it's because, like, they're up against, like, much bigger competition than they would be in the summer. It's like, I don't know how much in danger Australian Survivor really is, but... Yeah, like in terms of like longevity of the show, like this might actually probably be their optimum move for all we know. But to be honest, again, I'm not like as well versed in Australian TV to like really say.
Bring us in for a closer look, son.
Oh yeah, I did find that funny. Yeah. Someone said that Yule's one of the best strategic players. He said no, he's one of the best social players, which is like.
It seems the ship has been abandoned.
Like, whatever.
Slippery little bastard.
I'm not that Yule is a bad social player, but, I mean, definitely his, like, the biggest, like, boon to Yule's ability as a player is his strategic ability. What winners were overexposed in the U.S. besides Tony? Boston Rob, Richard Hatch. Actually, I don't know if Richard Hatch was overexposed. Richard Hatch was one of the most one of the highest confessional counts. But everyone had a high confessional count. So like while he was like the number one on Borneo and whatnot, it's like I don't know if he was necessarily overexposed. But yeah, like Boston Rob's number one by a lot. I'm pretty sure in terms of overexposure. Which is funny because, like, the premiere, he only gets one confessional. But then he ends the season with, like, 89, when, like, the next highest is, like, 40 or something. Actually, I think Philip had 50-something, didn't he? But either way, it's like, it definitely is Buster Rob.
Almost as though you want him to escape.
And then Tony, again, Tony's high in Cagayan. Like, Tony got 90-something, right? But then, like, I think Spencer and Cass both got in the 60s. So it's like, it's not like he, like, while it is, like, he is overexposed, it's not like, I don't think it's to the degree of Boston Rob. I think Will Neff thinks the strategic game is the challenges. I mean, I definitely think he doesn't get the strategic game, but I wouldn't necessarily say it that far. Oh yeah, Mike might be... Oh, you're talking about Mike from this season. But yeah, Mike from Worlds Apart actually might be up there too in terms of overexposure. But yeah, like Mike from this season, again, like that was my hope coming into it, was that he would be like the next Tony. And to be honest, I don't think I see it necessarily. I think he's probably, if anything, more like a... Like, I mean, I guess he kind of has like the Tony, like, energy, but like is probably more in line with like, I don't know, like maybe like a Ben or like a Tom Musman. Ramshine premieres edited perfectly. Yeah, you don't hear much from Boston Rob, even though everyone else is talking about Boston Rob. Really excited for next season of Australian Survivor. Just feel like they need to change their game. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, that's essentially my thought. I mean, like, no matter what, like, I'm still gonna be excited for Survivor. But I just have the least, like, amount of faith in Australian Survivor to put together a good product.
Hurry, son. We won't get a second chance at this.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say Rick Devens is the most overexposed beside Russell. I think the Rick Devens thing is like kind of overblown in terms of Rick Devens' edit. Where like Rick Devens does get like a lot of screen time at the very end of the season, but it's really just that. Like people talk about Rick Devens as if he's like the top confessional character the entire time, when like Rick Devens really doesn't skyrocket until like the last like 4 episodes. Where like I believe even at the time that Wentworth goes home, Wentworth has more confessionals than Rick Devens. So I mean, really, it's when Rick Devens like is left with a whole bunch of less entertaining people. That's actually something I realized about Edge of Extinction, is that like all the entertaining people are gone by that point in the game, because like you have like War Dog and Ron going home back to back after the Wentworth boot, and then after you're left with what, Aurora, Gavin, Lauren O'Connell, and Julie, right? And then Victoria, who's also getting under-edited. So it's like, you got nobody there. I mean, it really is just like, it's really, all you have to show is Rick Devens.
Perhaps someone with more experience should take...
I mean, again, I like Lauren O'Connell as a figure on the show.
It's almost as though you want him to
but definitely not the most entertaining person at the end of the day. I'm not even paying attention to the game. Like, this is such a fucking disaster. Do I think Blood vs. Water is worse than All Stars? I think it's close. I don't know which one I would have as the worst. I think All Stars had bigger like individual moments. Or like, what's the biggest moment of this season? Like, is it episode 3? Like, is it the Juicy Dave stuff? Like at the very beginning? Is it like? Is it this? I mean, like Jordan getting voted out, like that tribal. I don't feel like this season has like a big moment. I feel like this season's more consistent than All Stars to me. But like, I probably would have All Stars above it, I think. If they could cast, if they could get Christian and Rick Devens, would they cast them both on the same season? I think so. I think they look at them as different enough. And even then, like, I think you could just put them on opposite tribes, too. Because, again, they're two of the biggest locks to return if they have the slots open or whatever. So it's like, I mean, like if they're, like, casting from that far back or whatever.
It's almost as though you want him to escape.
I do wonder, though, like, again, like, obviously there are, like, rumors that 45, 46 might be All-Stars. If that's the case, like, how far back are we going? He's like, are we really gonna, like, get people from, like, like, how many people from pre-40 are we gonna get, I should say? Like, obviously we'll get some, I would think, like, even though Jeff Probst said that we won't, which, whatever. But, yeah, like, I do wonder, like Dave vs. Goliath was a cast that, like, coming out of that season, like, a lot of them seem like guaranteed locks to return, but, like, are they anymore? Like, I feel like so many people from, like, HHH are gonna be forgotten about. Ghost Island, like, outside of Dominic and maybe Donathan. Don't know who's coming back from there. Like, Michael Yerger is someone that, like, yeah, would have been a lock. Now, who the fuck remembers Michael Yerger? Like, same thing goes with, like, Lauren Rimmer. Same thing goes with, like, a Joe Mena. Like, I feel like a lot of those sort of people are going to be forgotten about. Doubt more than 2 pre-game changers. Probably. I mean, like, I think Millennials Gen X, you could probably see some. Because, again, Millennials Gen X is another cast that they love.
The current here is swift. We still have a
Well, I think Millennials Gen X and Dave vs. Goliath are, like, their 2 favorite recent casts. But yeah, like, beyond that, like, I doubt it. I don't know, like, what happens to Carolyn at this point? Or, like, Carolyn's the person that, like, they keep on saying that, okay, well, you'll be on next time we have an All-Star season. Like, Jeff even explicitly said it at the time of Game Changers, that Carolyn, next time we have an All-Star season, you're for sure going to be on it. And it's like, is she now? Like, I don't know if she is. Like, I would like to see it personally. Like, I feel like Carolyn's one of these people that, like, is so willing to play again. Like, she's, like, essentially, like, just waiting for the day to play again. But, like, I just don't know if it's happening at this point. Especially when, like, there's already, like, other people in her archetype as well. Like, even, like, not even by 40. Like, you already have Chrissy, who can easily take over her slot.
Focus on our true target.
Come on. Oh, yeah, this is so slow. I really hate Naval in this game. Oh, I fucked up. I let go way too early.
He's nearly away.
Yeah, Jay, I think is someone that could come back still. Who else from Millennium X is even that likely anymore? I mean, yeah, like Michaela, but like she's Raven back also, so it's like in terms of like one-time players at this point, I guess it might only be Jay at this point. Because like, I mean, I think Adam's likely, but like he was on Winners at War. Figgy, I mean, like, Figgy might be, like, a dark horse sort of person. Like, I think Figgy might be, like, the new, Alexis Maxwell. Where, like, they're always, like, in the running as a, as, like, this, like, pre-merge, like, woman that had, like, potential in the game, but I don't know. We haven't had, like, we don't know for sure that Figgy's gotten the call for any season. Money, obviously, like, no, she was not going to be on Game Changers. And then, like, 40, we just don't know, like, we really don't know that much about who got the call for 40. Outside of, like, some pretty big names. So, yeah, like, we just don't know too much about what they think about Figgy. Come on, this is so slow. Alright, whatever, let's... Oh wait, that was super fucking lucky that it just came up.
It's just I thought you wanted it in one piece.
You want 50 to be Legends where I have second chance too? I mean, next time to do All Stars, it's gonna be second chance too. It's just a matter of when that All Star season is. And, like, I would prefer it to be sooner rather than later, as I just feel like there's so many people to bring back already. Like, I wouldn't have been opposed to 42, ended up being second chance, too. Which, again, was the rumor, like, very early on in casting. It is insane, though. I was just thinking about this the other day, that it's been, like... I mean, it's essentially been 2 years since Winners at War at this point. Like, it's kind of insane that it's been that long already. Yeah, Winners at War fucked everything up in terms of All-Star seasons and casting. Oh, I actually died? God damn it. Oh, I'm not even paying attention. I fucking need to use Chain Shot. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing to Natalia either. And Natalia's one of these people that, like, Jeff Probst loves for, like, no fucking reason. So, like, I don't know if Natalia is, like, someone that he cares enough to bring back. Well, again, we'll see, I guess, for future seasons. Because, like, I mean, there's someone like Gina Cruz is one of these people that, like, Jeff Probst loves Gina Cruz. It's like, it's friends with her outside the show. But, like, Gina Cruz has never been in the running to return. And same thing with, like, Jessica DeBen. Like, he loves Jessica DeBen, but, like, never been in the running to return. So, like, doesn't necessarily mean anything that Jeff Probst likes them in terms of their, like, returning chances. But yeah, I think Natalia could be like a dark horse returning.
Do not let Trash escape!
I don't know. Yeah, diversity mandate plays a factor too now. It would have been funny though if like diversity mandate was before Winners at War, and they actually were like, you know what, we could do Winners at War, but again, diversity mandate, let's not do it. I think realistically, like even if it had been diversity mandate, I think they were doing Winners at War anyway. I don't think they would have bothered to guarantee it there, because I think they would have considered it like a special occasion. But again, like how like underwhelming that would be if they like if it like came out that like if we had like 40 and it being like Game Changers 2, and then like we find out that it could have been all winners. That didn't hit. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, like from what I understand, Vecepia didn't get the call, right? For Winners at War. By the way, I did do, so yeah, like not too long ago, I did do a lot of research into Survivor 40's casting process. And, yeah, according to Redmond, Vecepia never got a call, Chris never got a call, but Todd never got a call. Forgot who else.
What are you doing? Ending this.
Didn't Bryce say last week that Swatu was his girlfriend? Yeah. He said that earlier in the stream too. Which again, I believe she just posted on Twitter something about her wanting to date a fan or something.
Secure the ship! Hook us in! Bring her close! To arms! To arms!
I'm trying to find her Twitter.
Man the swivel! Cover from the quarter deck!
Secure the aft line! Tie off the bow!
I believe Underwood was asked, from my understanding, but he turned it down. And like, I don't know if he would have made the cut anyway. But yeah, from my understanding, he was at least asked if he would be willing to do it. Tommy wasn't asked though. To be fair, Tommy didn't even know he. Like, I mean, technically didn't know he won. By the way, that's something something I find weird too. That I didn't even realize. Because, like, I also went through this rabbit hole of rewatching the like season previews that are at the finales, and I didn't even realize this until like just now that like at the time of them releasing the Island of the Idols preview, so like at the time of the Edge of Extinction finale, where like they released the preview of IOI, they already knew that like Dan Spilo was Dan Spilo, and like all that situation happened. It's so weird, like thinking like they're releasing this like preview about like, oh, Boston Rob and Sandra, they're back, when like they also were like dealing with this situation of like changing all the protocol and whatnot because of the Dan Spilo thing. Like, it's just weird to think that like that was even a thing that was talked about at the time. Oh, there we go. I found Swati. Where is it?
What has Church done with the cargo?
Did she delete the tweet? I don't see it anymore. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. Whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet earlier where she said something about dating a fan. We've had Chris Underwood in your cast. Again, I don't know if he would have been online for Winners at War. Like, if we're doing, like, Survivor 50, like All-Star season, like more general All-Star season. I'm fine with Chris Underwood being back.
You will be made to pay.
But yeah, for like Winners at War, like to have this guy that like he was out of the game for like 2/3 of it, and be on Winners at War against like this massive field. Like I just feel like that would be underwhelming. Like again against the Boston Robs, the Tonys, the Sandras. Oh, here we go. Yeah, still waiting for some hot fan to wife me up. There we go. Oh, this was like 2 days ago. I didn't realize this was 2 days ago. That's why I didn't see it. I thought it was like within the day. But yeah, there. Shoot your shot, Bryce. I'm sure it'll work out. How long does it last? This like, does it just like? Yeah, I guess it just stays. Oh, whatever. Just do it. And Lydia. That seems like a pretty apt Lydia tweet.
Awaiting pickup.
By the way, I did love how like she completely misses the jump to the key, and then like afterward is like not even mentioned the fact that she doesn't even try to go again. Like that Chanel just does both of them by herself.
Who fight and die that one day they might be free from tyranny such as yours.
Just like the David of the season. Yeah, but again, like I'm better off without Chris on Winners at War. Who'd I have on my cast now? I don't remember. Obviously I had Hatch. And then I think I put Tina, right?
Spin a story to excuse your crimes, as though you're the innocent one and they the thieves.
It's funny how much I don't remember my own videos.
There is no single path through life that's right.
Like especially a lot of these like casting videos, I feel like I have very little memory of.
The crown has no cause.
What was there was a video that like not too long ago that I was thinking of like, oh, I should do that video idea, and then realize, oh, I already did it. Yeah, so I added Hatch, Todd, Earl, and Vesepia. Is that it? See, I took off Amber. I took off Nick. Oh, I added Mike too. Did I take Ben off? Oh, I didn't remember that.
Well, this passing was a boon for us both.
It's weird for them to put Denise instead of Tina. I don't know. I'm like, I personally would have put Tina just because like the prestige of having the first female winner, second winner of the show. But like I get them not wanting Tina. And like part of this is like through like kind of reevaluating Blood versus Water, where like I don't know if they loved Tina on Blood versus Water, where I don't know. It's like she's just kind of like she doesn't really feel like that acclimated to the modern game. Like even at the time Blood versus Water, where like I don't know what the fuck she would have done on Winners at War.
At least so far as independence is concerned.
Why people think Denise should not have been on? I mean, like I'm not a big Denise fan personally, but like I'm fine with her being on Winners at War. I mean, she's definitely someone that like was very much hyped up coming into Winners at War. Where yeah, a lot of people propped up Denise as a player. I do feel like that's kind of waned a bit since Winners at War, which is funny because like Winners at War, I'm like, I mean, I guess the end of her season isn't that good, but like she does have the Sandra move, which you would think people would like be talking about her as like, oh, one all-time great thing. But I do feel like people are probably lower on Denise as a whole now.
Welcome back. And how was Martinique?
Yeah, like Natalie White and Amber are two people I never wanted to see back. Jenna, considering like all the stuff going on in real life at the time, not surprising she's not back. And then yeah, Vesepia, they just never wanted back.
But there was also truth there. I failed the order.
So like it wasn't really that realistic to expect Vecepia to be back.
But now their hold is weakened, which makes me believe there's a chance.
And to be fair though, actually with the diversity mandate, could they have gotten it if they did get Vecepia?
Why the change of heart?
Probably not, right? Because they couldn't have gotten Earl, right? Actually, what was the breakdown Winners at War?
Your father, haven't you?
I do not claim to trust the man or even like him.
Let's see. So we got...
I would be remiss to ignore this opportunity.
Sandra, Yule, Wendell,
Hatham may listen, but will he
Jeremy,
understand? And even if he does,
now, okay, it's not even close. Yeah, they're not even close. Yeah, there's no way they're fucking getting diversity mandate on Winners at War.
I assume you're off to find him.
Yes. I ride for New York to see what might be done.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I would personally have Tina on my cast just due to the legacy, but like I would not have expected it to go well for Tina. And I don't really know if she would have brought that much to the game there. But to be fair, Denise didn't bring that much outside the Sandra blind side. But I still think like Denise probably would have brought more. Like, I mean, probably had the more potential to bring more to the show. Now let's do homestead missions, I guess. I don't know how much longer I'm going to go stream for. Again, I came into the stream already pretty tired. So probably not going to go like more than another hour. Actually, I did also start streaming late too, didn't I? Well, I mean now, yeah, with Erica, but like I'm talking about like at the time of Winners at War. Yeah, they definitely would not have been able to do what diversity mandate. What's Sandra's trajectory if they vote out Denise and she isn't dumb? Well, I mean, she gets to the merge, right? So she's at the merge. She probably, like, Wendell's probably still the first target. Like, I think she's probably, like, there with Tony and Sarah, but, like, not as close to them, obviously, as they are to each other. I don't know, who does she have to work with coming to the merge? Because what, you'll be gone.
Find them. I will handle it.
I don't think she has anybody, right? Coming to the merge outside of Sandra and Tony.
Stop.
Kim, I guess. I don't think she had the greatest relationship with Kim, though, right? Tyson, she would have had Tyson, kind of. But even then, she, like, got Tyson out. I mean, yeah, she has, like, no numbers coming into the merge. So who knows, maybe they do just end up taking her out along the way. And to be fair, she doesn't have much numbers on the season as a whole. That's the thing about, like, Game Changers that I don't think gets talked about that much, is that she came into Game Changers, like pretty much in a, like, as good of a position Sandra could be on in a returning season. Like, she had Varner and Troyzan there, like, two of her really good friends from outside the show. Like, on her starting tribe. And then, obviously, like, she ends up building a bond with Michaela. And then also she has, like, the big target that is Tony there, too. Is there ever a good reason to give someone an idol? I think there's, yeah. But I think it's very situational.
He was trying to rob your home. It has been dealt with.
And I don't think there's ever...
Is everyone all right?
I don't think there's ever a good reason to secretly give someone an idol. Like the way that Kelly Kim did to get rid of Jack, the way that obviously Sandra does to try to get, like... what was she trying to do again? Like, she was thinking that, like, Tony was going home, right? Well, no, she thought Jeremy was going home, right? Because she didn't realize she had two idols. Yeah, okay, but either way. But yeah, I mean, like, it's, like, yeah, I think most of the time it just ends up backfiring on you. Because, like, especially in, like, the Killy Kim situation, it's like, to actually execute the plan properly, like, obviously you're having, like, Dean know what's going on, and, like, what's truly incentivizing him from not blowing up your spot moving forward. Okay, well, this is not working out. I feel like it just leaves up so much. Like, it's a thing that, like, you're probably keeping in a potential ally, but also you're, like, pulling off a move that'll just make you come off as so sketchy if people find out about it. That I don't think it's really worth the, yeah, I don't think it's worth doing it. What should I do here? I guess we'll do this. Oh, yeah, I forgot, yeah, in Game Changers, yeah, she did have, I'm really, just in general, Sandra is known for pre-gaming a lot. But yeah, like, Brad Culpepper, she had a pre-game relationship with. Actually, who else was on that season? Let's see. Yeah, like, who'd Sandra have a relationship with coming into Game Changers? So, yeah, Brad, Troy, she had a bad relationship with Suri. We know that. I don't know who else, actually. Maybe Ozzy. I could see her building a bond with Ozzy. But yeah, I guess there aren't that many solid pre-game relationships outside of, like, in terms of, like, things that we know for sure, outside of, again, like, Varner, Troyzan, who she's friends with, and then Brad. Well, we know Caleb was, like, not wanting to work with her, right? So that's something. Want to see someone offer their idol to someone if they don't vote against them at Tribal. I think the intention is that you would assume that by giving them your idol that they wouldn't vote for you, right?
Master Connor, Dad and Godfrey are...
Why'd she have bad bond with Suri? Her and Suri have never gotten along. And at the time, what happened is that at the time of Heroes vs. Villains, Suri was a big Russell supporter. And she was talking about how Sandra shouldn't have won. And, like, since then they've kind of had, like, bad blood. And supposedly they're, like, fine now, but also, like, I from what I understand, at the time of Game Changers, they hadn't really reconciled. Oh, fuck, we're at this thing. I fucking hate this minigame. It's so fucking dumb. Whatever. It's so dumb. Yeah, Sandra's known for spoiling her seasons also. That's the thing.
You need some sense knocked into you.
Where every single season Sandra has been on has been spoiled, and,
you need some sense
and to be fair, I guess Blood vs. like Australian Survivor here hasn't been, like, really spoiled. Like, I don't think there's, like, actual spoilers out there, right? But, like, in terms of Survivor US seasons, like, every Survivor US season she's been on has been heavily spoiled. This is the dumbest fucking mission.
Kikolo is coming to you.
Sandra giving the idol to Denise worse than JT giving the idol to Russell? To me, yes. And to me, it's not close either. Because, like, to me, it's like there's no true upside to Sandra giving Denise the idol. It's like at best. Oh, actually, now I think about it, Sandra and Denise had a relationship outside the show. For Winners at War, at least. But yeah, I mean, like, at best you're keeping around Denise, which is, like, potentially an extra number for you.
Not at all. Teddy's just got himself a temper.
But again, like, you're still doing it in a underhanded way to where if it gets out, then that just paints a massive target on your side. Also, it's like there's so much downside in the case that it doesn't work out. So where, again, like, obviously we see that Denise ends up voting for her instead. And also with, like, Sandra being this prime target of, like, this person that people want to get out to, like, have her, like, to be, like, the Queen Slayer or whatever. It's like, that's obviously a bad position to be in. Well, if JT, it's like, it's bad, obviously, because like he completely misreads what's happening on the villain tribe. But if he had been right, he essentially wins the game.
There's no need for this.
Like, if he had been correct there.
Yeah.
Essentially, if the heroes come out of the merge vote with the numbers, JT all but like has already won the game. Like, he is closer to Rupert and Colby than anyone else. He's also probably going to beat Rupert and Colby in a jury vote. His only real competition would be Amanda winning out. But even then, you would have to convince Rupert and Colby to both vote for JT over each other, which I think they probably would vote for each other first. So yeah, I mean, like, JT essentially, it's an all or nothing move. And, like, it's a move that doesn't work out in his favor and makes him look like a fucking idiot. But in the chance he had been right, he essentially had won the game. So it's like there was massive upside to him making the move. While Sandra, it's like her upside is like potentially gaining one extra ally in a position where she like already is pretty much dead in the water anyway. The Sandra spoiled Pearl Islands? I believe that's the common wisdom, is that she spoiled Pearl Islands. Like, Pearl Islands was very spoiled. So, yeah. Oh, I mean, that's a completely different situation. Yeah, like giving them the, like you're talking about like playing the idol on them essentially after the vote. Like, I mean, that's essentially what Natalie does, right? Oh, what am I doing here? Like what Natalie does to Jacqueline, where she tells her to vote for Baylor. Mind you, Jacqueline didn't know that Natalie was going to play an idol. But she pretty much did, like, put her, like, blind trust into Natalie. With JT... Yeah, I mean, JT would have potentially been the best player of all time. I mean, even without that... again, like, I did already do the video of top 10 players immediately after Heroes vs. Villains. And, like, even despite that, JT is, I believe, number 2 or 3 on that. So, again, had he actually won Heroes vs. Villains, then, yeah, I think he'd... I'm an idiot. Okay, how did I not die there? But yeah, he probably would have been number 1. I think at this point, it's like, you know, with Tony winning twice, it's like, I think it would be debatable, but yeah, like for a while, he would have been like the number 1 for sure. Channel called Survivor Obsessions. Actually, I think, is this one of the channels that, this might be one of the channels that's in the, my, like, top 15 of, like, 15 other, like, channels your audience watches or something like that. Yeah, it's, like, has a lot of, like, clips from the show and stuff. I think it might be. Yeah. I mean, in a, if you keep me, I'll give you the idol. Okay, so you mean, like, in a situation where... So, I mean, in this situation, you're talking about the Marty situation? Like, Marty in Nicaragua? Where essentially they were going to vote out Marty, but then Marty tells Sash that I'll give you the idol if you keep me in the game. And then proceeds to give his idol to Marty. Which he ends up later voting out Marty with the idol. With Sash getting to keep the idol. Or I think of the classic case of the bunny rabbit eating lunch in the mailbox. I mean, obviously that's a commonly known story. But yeah, I did find it funny how, yeah, like, what was it? I think it was, one of the RHAP podcasts mentioned that, like, why didn't Marianne just like say this is like a Kenyan, like she's Kenyan, right? Or like one of the countries in Africa. Like, why didn't she just say that it was like a story from like Kenya or whatever? Like, wouldn't that have just made more sense to like pretend it was like a story back from like a story back from her like parents' native country? Or yeah, in Survivor Nicaragua, like, so Marty had his idol, and he he had his idol. He didn't play it through the Kelly Bruno vote, but like he knew he was pretty much the next target. It was either him or Jill. I just unplugged the mic. But yeah, so it was going to be Marty or Jill when they go to the final trial before the merge. So Marty makes the deal with Sash that I'll hand you the idol if you vote out Jill over me, essentially. And they vote out Jill, and yeah, Sash gets the idol, keeps it, and then doesn't even use it. And then votes out Marty in the second vote after the merge. And then doesn't even end up using the idol until like the last time he can, when he didn't even need it. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing that happened. It was kind of different where I believe Marty actually handed it to him before Tribal. So, like, I think it's like kind of different than what you're talking about, like slightly, in the sense that like he did like give up the leverage before Tribal instead of after. But it was like pretty much the same like deal, though.
Thank God you are here.
Well, I'd like to do Brain Steal on Twitch. I would be opposed to it. It's not something like I'm dying to do. But I feel like it would be interesting like to plug in some of my like all-star casts or something.
He has a good nose.
And do it on Twitch, but
She has been gathering the evening
like as right now, I'm not really streaming in a way that would allow me to do it.
It's all going to stop now. I don't understand why she wants so damn much of the stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't think any pre-mergers got a 5. Because again, like for me, it's like they're not on the show long enough. Like if there was one, then it would have been one that had a really long pre-merge. But yeah, I don't think I gave anyone a 5. Yeah, I think the closest... Yeah. So I'm looking at the earliest person that got a 5 were Boston Rob in Marquesas and Jeremy in San Juan del Sur. So, yeah, those are like the earliest boots to get a 5, so... There were a lot of 4s, though. But yeah, I think for a 5, it's like... It's tough to do that from the pre-merge.
She can't be far. We should split up to cover more ground.
I think top of mind, like someone that would potentially be that would be like maybe like a Brad Culpepper in Blood vs. Water. Because like, I think you need, like, you can't just be just like a fun character, but you also need to be like a main central figure within the game at that point. And I feel like Brad Culpepper kind of fits into both from Blood vs. Water. Tori got CPN this episode? Probably, right? Was it M or N? What negativity did she get? No, I gave Coach a 4, I believe, in Heroes vs. Villains. I gave Coach a 4 and I gave Basarab a 4. I think Basarab would have been another one that would have been close. Basarab in Heroes vs. Villains. Yeah, so I mean, like, actually, let's see. Who did I give a 4 that was pre-merge? I gave Scoopin a 4 in Australian Outback. I gave Lindsay Richter a 4. I gave Rob Zabatnik a 4. I gave Xi'an a 4 in Thailand as well. Let's see. And it's kind of weird because like I have it by placement. I have the people's names here, so I have to remember who these people are. 11th place. Oh, is that Jerry? Did I give Jerry a 4? No, it's not Jerry. It's the person. Oh, Ethan. Ethan. I gave Ethan a 4 in All Stars. And is that Rich? I think I gave Rich Hatch a 4. Actually, that should probably be a 3 considering the suit situation. Because I did mark people down for being like icky. Yeah, Bobby John I gave a 4. In Palau, Cook Islands I gave Cowboy and Billy Garcia a 4. I gave Rocky a 4. In Fiji, I gave Dave Cruiser a 4. I gave Ace a 4. I gave Russell Swan a 4. Then yeah, Tom, Rob, and Coach from Here's What's Villains a 4. I gave Christina Kell a 4. Is that who it is? Christina Kell. Whatever. Yeah, then who is that? Oh, yeah, actually, Colton should be a 3 also. I gave Colton a 4, but again, considering ickiness, definitely should be lower, probably. Who is that? 13th? Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm an idiot. Russell Swan also in Philippines, I gave a 4. Yeah, Brad Culpepper, I gave a 4. Jatia, I gave a 4. Drew Christie, I gave a 4. Jeff Varner in Second Chance, I gave a 4. Then Tony, Malcolm, oh no, not Malcolm, Tony, JT, and Sandra, I gave 4s in Game Changers. Jacob Derwin, I gave a 4. Yeah, Nally, Napalm, I gave a 4. Nally Cole, if you will. Who is that? Is that Wendy I gave a 4 in Edge of Extinction? And then who is that in Winners at War? There's someone Winners at War. I think it might be Sandra. Is that Sandra I gave a 4? Well, either way. Yeah, those are all the pre-mergers, essentially. I don't think it's Sandra. Again, Edge of Extinction really fucks things up, too, in terms of placements. Edge of Extinction, Redemption Island. So it makes it hard to, like, remember who these people are just simply by placements. What Bobby John Guatemala get? I think a 3? Or it could have been a 4 also. Guatemala... I gave him a 4. He probably should... Like, I don't know. 3 or 4 is debatable. Because, like, I think when I think of Bobby John Guatemala, like, I do, like, remember some, like his feud with Jamie. And also, like, at the end of his run, like, him, like, his kind of, like, dislike of Stephanie by the end of it. But, like, I'm realistic. He probably should have been a 3. But, again, I did these, like, super quick. Reem, I think Reem... What did I give Reem? Did I give Reem a 3? Maybe Reem should be a 4. Actually, fuck it. Let's just do that real quick. Yeah, let's switch. I mean, it doesn't matter. Fuck it, whatever. Yeah, I guess I gave Reem a 3. Should have been a 4, probably. Worst winner of the challenge? Probably one of the Gauntlet 3 people, right? Because like they weren't even supposed to win to begin with. So it's like probably one of the like shittier ones from there. So like what, like a Rachel Moyle or whatever her name is. Or like a Johanna. But at least Johanna, like... Actually, I guess Rachel was like kind of in a similar situation, weren't they? They were both from Real World Austin, right?
Thank you so much, Connor. Thank you. I don't want to think what might have happened if you had not arrived.
Is Jordan 33 going to be bottom of the winner rankings since he got eliminated and came back? I mean, he didn't get properly eliminated, though, right? It was like a weird, like, purge thing where, like, the winner got to vote out someone, which is, like, that's kind of a weird circumstance.
A long time now. I read that...
Rodents! Are you alright, my love?
From X on the Beach 3 should debut on 38. Who's on X on the Beach 3?
Thank you, Connor. Once again.
This latest season's like season 5, right? It's like, who's on X on the Beach 3? Got Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day should be on the challenge. Mark Jansen should be on the challenge. I don't know who most of these people are, realistically. But still. I'm surprised Mark hasn't been on the challenge. Like, I know he's, like, been an alternate, like, a billion times, but... Like, definitely feels like he should have been someone that's been on the challenge by now. Let's get the peg leg thing. Oh, yeah, that is a thing, too. Yeah, Jordan wouldn't have come back had Nelson not been kicked off. But, yeah, I just think the entire situation of him even going to Redemption Island to begin with is just kind of a wonky thing. Where, like, he doesn't get, like, properly eliminated through, like, the normal format of the show. Where the fuck is this? Oh, you mean X on the Beach 5? I don't remember who the cast is anymore. Who's on the cast again? I mean, like, obviously it would be cool to see Dave Vaughn back. But I mean, like, Jamar would be cool. Min Lee. Why not? Kat would be interesting on the challenge. Let's see. Is there no Wikipedia page for Season 5 yet? Oh, Caro and Ray are there too, right? I think Caro could be fun. I don't know about Ray. By the way, Caro seems like a fucking lunatic. Or more I see of Caro from outside of the challenge. Like, based on how she's like gets like really upset at, like, during that like preview scene there was where like you can hear Caro like yelling at Ray from like off screen. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I don't know a lot of these people. So, I don't even know. Most overrated Survivor player ever? I don't know. It matters what you consider overrated. In terms, like, who you like, where do you consider them rated to begin with? Because I mean, like, again, Sandra's someone I'm not like a big fan of, but like I'm also like not like too fair. Like, in terms of like what the general community thinks, like I'm probably on the boat that Sandra's overrated. Right, yeah, like I don't have Sandra in my top 10. She's probably like what, like top 30 for me. And then I think Parvati is overrated, but like I still have her 4th on my player ranking. So I don't know. Yeah, Sandra is definitely one that I got a lot of backlash for. I feel like a lot of like the backlash towards the original winner ranking was due to like a misunderstanding of what I'm ranking, where like ranking winning games over like players. But to be fair, I think most people don't actually know the difference. Fuck, I can't make that jump. I'm not gonna bother. I don't even know why I'm bothering with this. I mean, let's do the peg leg mission, I guess. Yeah, again, like I talk about this all the time. Like Sandra in Here's Your Villain essentially wins through failing at everything she's trying to do.
What do I owe this great honor, Captain?
Mind you, again, like she does do good work in terms of managing her perception from the jury, where she like utilizes her failures into making people think that, like, and just like essentially guilting these people into saying that, like, you should have listened to me. Like I knew what, like I'm essentially, like I tried to help you guys out, but you wouldn't listen to me. But
you might be a captain, but you're not too bright, are you? I'll barter with them.
like, I'm pretty bad at like Pearl Islands. Like Pearl Islands is better. It's still like I think the actual what is going on with the screen here, but like the actuality of how the season plays out, is like in a way where like she gets to the end against the person that like every single person would have beaten. And like also like has like Lil want to take her to the end, despite the fact that like Sandra's like yelling, like supposedly like was like verbally abusive towards Lil throughout the season.
I will be back for the
and like supposedly was like taken to the end more so just because she needed the money more. Okay, so it's on this. And like also like has like really bad moves here and there. Like I mean like during the Rupert vote, like her voting for Johnny Fairplay is fucking asinine. Like it's so fucking dumb that she votes for Fairplay. Like she votes for Fairplay during a Rupert vote, where like her interpretation is that she thought it was going to be a tie, if like a tie at worst, kind of like she thought it was going to be like a or tie at best. So like she thought it was going to be like her, Rupert, Krista, and Lil voting for who'd they vote for? Was it Dara?
Doesn't look as abandoned as it should.
Anyway, like I mean, she thought it was like gonna be like a 4-4 vote essentially, and she's like, I'm gonna vote for Fairplay.
Once you lose sight of me, wait for 10 minutes, then bombard the fort.
Is Devin from Free Agents the worst competitor to make a final? Probably.
Aye, sir. Sounds a trifle dangerous.
Again, never has to go elimination simply due to luck. Only daily she wins is the actually she might win another one, but she does win trivia. But anyway. Do I think Jerry wins if she's versus Russell and Sandra? No. Sandra wins. She wins if she's against Parvati and Russell, though. Where again, Russell and Parvati were the two biggest jury goats on the season. Where like everyone beats Russell and Parvati except for maybe Danielle. Like I think if it's Danielle, Parvati, Russell, they might have just like begrudgingly voted for Parvati. But like even then, I think Russell gets votes. Like it really comes down to like how little did they respect Danielle. But really, outside of that scenario, yeah, Russell and Parvati were losing against anybody. And Sandra was the biggest jury threat outside of the heroes. Which is what makes the Russell getting rid of Danielle move like bad, like partially bad on Russell's end in the sense that like he gets rid of his only scenario where he's probably getting votes. Even though he does actually increase the chance of him actually getting to the end through doing so. Does Russell have a win scenario on Samoa? I think he wins against Shambo and Jason probably. And I think the telling thing for me for a while I was like, I don't know. I think at this point I'm more like resolute in thinking he probably wins against Shambo and Jason. because recently, again, during Will Neff streams, Dave Ball went on there, and Will Neff asked him who wins if it's Russell, Shambo, and Jason. Even Dave Ball at this point, who hates Russell's guts, said that he would have probably had to vote for Russell. So it's like, if he's saying that now, after hating Russell for like 10 years now, when like after like during the filming of the season, he says on his way out that he thinks Russell's playing one of the best games of all time. It's like, for him to go from that, at that point, to like not even voting for Russell against Shambo and Jason, I think that's very improbable. And when Dave Ball also seemed to be kind of a linchpin within the Galoo group in terms of their perceptions of the game, like I feel like Russell would have won in that scenario, but that probably is the only scenario. But why was Jason not liked? Because Jason supposedly did nothing after the merge. Because like he's a massive guy, and considering how much it was raining and how bad the conditions were and how little food they had, supposedly he was just miserable while out there. And supposedly just most of the cast didn't like him because of that. Was making Dawn take her teeth out too far? Yes. I think Brenda looks like a fucking lunatic because of that. Mind you, again, I have a video coming out at some point where I'll talk about it, but it really is like one of the most insane moments in History Striver to me. And like, it's also like a darkly humorous one though. But Russell, Jason, Mick, I think Mick wins. Where essentially, I mean, Russell gets what? Russell gets Fincher in almost every scenario. Russell gets Brett in almost, or not Brett. Russell gets Shambo, sorry, in almost every scenario. Almost every other scenario, he like Mick gets those votes, and then obviously Natalie gets them in the real life scenario. Yeah, like I think like the Ben Yasmin like situation, that's probably where like Jason was at his like peak. Or like I think that's like where like he had like still had a whole bunch of energy, but yeah, it did seem like after that is kind of where like he kind of started to lose it a bit.
Double time! We'll get a whip if we're late for the captain's address. I'm hurrying.
Russell in the real life scenario got 2 votes. He got Shambo and Fincher. Natalie got the other 7. And I think those, if he's at the end against Jason and Mick gets all the votes that Natalie got. And then I think Russell still gets those 2 votes. I don't think anything else changes.
For what happened in Poland. I've had enough! We are here, under orders. I need not remind you to
So I think if Shambo was anti Russell, Galoo would have been more likely to vote for Russell. No.
You are not trained to comment on strategy.
I don't think I don't know. It's weird because like I get in the Shambo, Russell, Jason situation. Even though I think Russell wins, Shambo still gets like Laura Moret's vote, which Laura Moret is like portrayed as the person that was like the most like that had this like rivalry with Shambo. Yeah, Laura Moret was actually one of the most likely people to vote for Shambo. So it's like I don't know how like big this like Galoo hated Shambo like this like notion really is. But.
He didn't mean anything by what he said.
You're getting soft.
I just don't think it's right.
Is this the Mick Natalie thing, or like the rumor that like they changed their vote at the last second? Because that's been turned down a lot. Where like that was like the prevailing thought for a while, but that initially Galoo came in thinking they were voting for Mick, but then changed their mind throughout Final Tribal, which is not actually the case. But it was this ranking of Pixar movies. Incredibles, Toy Story 3. I feel like the top 2 are probably my top 2, but then I don't have WALL-E nearly as high. I haven't watched most of the bottom ranked ones. Yeah. Would I vote for Mick or Natalie? I probably would have voted for Natalie.
That lurcher is out of his head.
Because, like, for me, at least Natalie, like, actively, like, put herself in this position to, be this, like, secondary figure to Russell. And, like, Natalie was someone that Russell was always going to take to the end under the misconception that he would beat her. Well, Mick was someone that was not even as secure in the game despite being a lesser jury threat. And also, like, equally did not have as much, like, agency within the game, in terms of, like, dictating the votes. So it's like, at that point, it's like, they're, like, kind of on the same level in terms of, like, how much control they had in the game. But, again, like, I think Natalie was more active in getting herself into that position to get to the end. And also was, like, in less danger throughout the game. So it's like, I would vote for Natalie. I don't remember. I watched Monsters University. I just have, like, no memory of it. Like, if I were, like, to put together a ranking right now, I wouldn't have it super high, but again, like, a lot of that's just because I don't remember it.
Rebel.
Sophie or Albert? For a while, I for sure would have gone Albert. I think at this point, I don't know, it's kind of tough. Yeah, like, I think, like, Albert was the more active player to me, like, but he was, like, actively bad. Like, where he's actively, like, he's trying to pander to the jury in a way that the jury recognizes what he's doing and starts to dislike him because of that. While and, like, both of them were in danger at, like, certain spots in the game. Like, Sophie definitely would have, like, had the chance to be voted out at certain points. Albert had the chance to be voted out at points.
Cut down by cannon shot!
I think it's pretty close between the two.
Move to the west wall! Bloody hell!
But, I mean, like, I would have voted for Coach out over either of them. Okay, cool. What the fuck up? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Yeah, Albert's jury performance is fucking terrible. So, like, we're going by, like, jury, like, if we're, like, really, really factoring in final trial performance, then, like, Sophie would have the edge there. But, like, for me personally, like, I don't think I would factor in final trial performances that much. Like, for me, the only time I would actually factor in final trial performances is if I'm, like, completely unsure of who to vote for, before that. Where, like, I don't think, I don't think there's a point where I would come into Tribal 100% solid on voting for someone, and then final Tribal would change my mind and switch that. I think it's only something that would change my mind in a situation where I don't know who I'm voting for to begin with.
To the armory! Who's in command? Form up! Form up!
As Coach's returning spot been taken by David? Which David are we talking about? Oh, Brad. Which Brad are we talking about? Are we talking about, like, Brad 41? Because if that's the case, then no, not at all. Like, Brad from 41, I don't think is coming back ever. If we're talking about Brad Culpepper, then, like, maybe, but probably not. I don't think they're, I don't know. I mean, like, I think with the diversity mandate, it shakes things up now. So, again, like, I did do a recasting video not too long ago. Actually, by that, I mean, like, literally less than a week ago. Of me, like, putting it together, at least. Where, like, I didn't have, like, it was a recasting video for diversity mandate, so I didn't really have to factor it in. But, like, thinking about it, like, if diversity mandate was in place, it's like there's like so many changes you would have to make to return these seasons. Mind you, obviously now like there's just more diverse cast to begin with. The cast from where am I going? So it's like the chances of having diverse people to bring back is obviously like more likely now. But like with the old casting pool, it does make it so that like specifically with like white men, it makes it a lot harder to cut certain people. Where like you can't really have like where it's like tough to find spots for like both like Spencer and Malcolm on a single cast, or like more than like one older guy on a cast and like that sort of thing. It's like there's not really that much room to work with as of right now. Again, like, as time goes on, it'll obviously be better. But
what? The damn scroll, you muckworm. Was it there?
I do feel like as of right now, like it does limit the returning chances a bit. If it's Rick, Albert, Coach, who wins? Coach. Actually, Rick might get some votes. I don't know. Like, it'd probably be Rick. If we're talking about like Coach doesn't own up to his game and everything, it's probably Rick. But again, like I think it's a similar situation though to Sophie, where all Coach needs to do is own up to his game, and he'll get the votes. How long am I streaming till? Probably not that much longer.
Got some more? Let's have a look then. That won't do it, boy. Get some more and then
Oh, fuck off, I need to get more. I feel like a women of color spots are easy. Yeah. I think, like, something I noticed, again, like, because, again, I talked this before. So the video was the recasting Survivor 40. Recasting Survivor 40 if it wasn't Winners at War video. Like, with that, it's like, there's so many white men, and there's so many people, or so many women of color. But it's actually, like, kind of tough to fill it with, like, if you're trying to, like, keep it even. Like, in terms of, like, white women, like, I feel like it is kind of tough to, like, fill out a returnee season with, like, white women that, like, all feel like super top tier people to bring back. And then the same thing goes for, like, people of color men. I don't know why exactly that is, but... Hey, and this is also, like, before 40. And also I'm thinking about realistic scenarios, not just, like, any returnee. There's, like, people that I think actually had, like, realistic shots of coming back. I watched Halo. I actually did watch the first episode, kind of. I had it on the background. I didn't get much from it, but again, like I wasn't paying super close attention. I think Todd's response to Jean Robert is one of the best final trial responses ever, probably. Like the thing is, like it's one of these situations though where like I don't know if it would have worked on me personally. But again, for it, like, being to Jean Robert, this, like, really narcissistic guy, yeah, it's, like, the perfect response to him. Well, you're still, like, stalking Lauren O'Connell's boyfriends? Is that really still a thing? So, yeah. Actually, what am I doing right now? I just realized I'm not even heading towards anything. Yeah, I'm thinking like we're probably just gonna call it pretty soon. It's already almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't really know how much more I really want to do here. Jean Robert reminds you of David Foley. Or, Dan Foley. Again, that's how fucking tired I am. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like kind of an apt comparison. In terms of like the type of character they are on the show. I think in general, like, Jean Robert is probably a more intelligent, like, person. But yeah, like, definitely in terms of, like, their portrayal on the show and like the like kind of bumbling idiot they are. I'm too fair. Actually, Diane Foley probably had more allies in the game than Jean Robert. So I mean, that's probably something. Pre-40 people of color men that pop out as Davy. Yeah, Davy was the one. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, really, like, if we're talking about, like, especially recent seasons before 40, I think it's tough. Because, like, Alan Ball's someone I would love to see back. I don't know how realistic he was of returning at any point, though. It's like, obviously you have Wendell. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how many other people of color men there were. I mean, I guess, like, if we're talking about 39, you got, like, Jamal. Let's see, 39. Yeah, really only Jamal from 39. 38. No one really. In terms of men. Yeah, obviously Davy from David vs. Goliath. Oh, but it's like, I feel like with, like, again, people of, like, women of color, I feel like it's a lot easier to pick out people. But yeah, like, for some reason, men of color, it's like, it's not, oh yeah, Ty is one. But yeah, like, for men of color, just really, it just feels like a limited field for some reason. I mean, yeah, like, I would love to see Alan Ball back, but I just don't really, I don't see production actually putting Alan Ball on season 40. Like, I think if it ended up being some sort of second chance season, then, like, maybe he could have been on the running. But, like, as a, like, as season 40 was, like, from what I understand, it's supposed to be, like, a more general all-star season. Like, I just can't see them actually, like, picking Alan Ball.
You must be.
Yeah. Where's the mission? I guess we'll start the mission and call it a night. Yeah, like, even through just 41, though, I mean, we do have a decent amount of returnees just from 41. We're, like, right away, I mean, like, I think you got, what, Deshaun, Danny, and Ricard, who all have a shot, and that's, like, just off, like, top of mind. And JD is someone that could come back. Nasir. So yeah, it's funny how, like, yeah, like, 41 alone, like, you already, like, change that. But yeah, like, just pre-40, just for some reason doesn't really feel, like, as stacked. JD should come back, but it will be forgotten. We'll see. I mean, like, I think there's a chance, but yeah, like, I think especially if we're waiting till, like, 50, then yeah, JD's definitely gonna be forgotten by that point. Yeah, like, if we're adding 42, then yeah, you got High, who I think already is probably a relatively likely returnee. You got Omar, which, by the way, wait, how do you pronounce his name? Because, like, I believe it's not actually Omar. Like, I'm saying Omar, but I believe it's like something else, right? I don't remember. Whatever. It's, like, pronounced, like, slightly differently, but whatever. Yeah, Romeo could be a potentially returnee. Worst for our players to make the merge? I'm going to make a video on that. I haven't made it yet, though, because I am waiting for the season to finish, but yeah, plan on making that video. Because I don't actually even know the answer at this point. It's probably, I mean, like, I feel like right away, like, top of mind, I feel like an Angela comes to mind as someone that would be up there from Ghost Islands. Like, does Lil count? I think that would be a debatable one. I mean, like Alan Ball, like in terms of him as a football player, it's like they barely wanted to talk about it on 35. It's like, why would they like really care? Like, why would that be like the main reason of them wanting him to return? Like, I don't think they would have really cared. I don't think Sean is coming back. He's like, he doesn't want it. Like, from what I understand, like he did interviews like after Survivor 40 and like talked about not wanting to come back. But also, it's like I don't think production ever wanted him back. Like, I don't think he ever got the call. Like, I'm pretty confident he didn't get the call for All Stars. And like after that, it's like, why are they calling him for like most other situations? Sean Rector should be back, but from what I understand, he's only gotten the call for All Stars and hasn't gotten one since. Yeah. So again, I think we're just going to call it a night here. So again, like this Saturday's video will probably be mid-season power ranking for Big Brother Canada. We'll see how tomorrow plays out, but like unless something like really weird. Oh, you're talking about Sean for yeah, Sean's probably on that list. The worst players to make the merge. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, who else would even be on there? Like, maybe a Zoe from Marquesas. That comes to mind. Roger Sexton. Oh. Again, there's definitely people. Just gotta actually, like, take the time to put it together. But yeah, so again, mid-season power ranking for Big Brother Canada will be this Saturday. Australian Survivor, obviously, we'll have a new episode of that by the time I stream next time. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, I guess that's it. I don't really have much else to say. I'm fucking tired, so yeah. Gonna call it a bit earlier than normal, but thank you everyone still here. See you guys next time.